This is a Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Let's go.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fins for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just a welcome, bro. Two a time.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am your host, Stephen D, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network, home of the #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Super excited that y'all are here with me hanging out today. We got a big show lined up for you today, and we're going to get right into it. Want to say good morning. My name is Stephen D. You can follow me at Stephen D SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. Make sure y'all do that. Also, want to remind y'all to follow Miami Sports Music at MIA Sports Music and on social media at Miami Sports Music as well. Make sure on your way in, you hit the like button and you subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. It's free. Subscribe. We are less than 150 people away from 10,000 subscribers. I need your help. I need your help. We are less than 150 people away from 10,000 subscribers. We can't do it without you. I know that. Cannot be done without your help. So make sure y'all help out, share the link. It's in the description. Subscribe. Let's get to 10,000. Let's get to 10,000. Also, want to remind you too, hey, if you want to sign up and become a member of the family, make sure y'all do that today as well. Sign up. The link is in the description below. We'd love to see you become part of the family. Let's get 2 new members today. Help the channel grow by donating. Lots of different ways you guys can do that. You guys can use the YouTube Live Super Chat, which is the $ below the bottom of the chat. Or you guys can use Cash App or PayPal, which is also $MSM Podcast Network, or use the QR code right here on your screen, or Cash App, which is also MSM Podcast Network. Want to give a big shout out to our sponsors of the show, ZSM Sports. ZSM Sports, the #1 place to get your cars, jerseys, balls, and hard to find items. Make sure you call ZSM Sports today and give Zach a ring. He's got a lot of great autograph signings coming up, and there's some good stuff there. The holidays are right around the corner. You need to get some stuff for your significant other, or heck, even yourself under the Christmas tree. You know your kids and your significant other ain't gonna get you nothing good. So get yourself something nice. Call ZSM Sports up today and get some good stuff. Hangry Owls, good food, good mood. Craft subs and salads. Hangry Owls, the best place to do. Give them a call, 305-279-5332. Make sure you give them the code word SKPL. Get $3 off of your sub. If you do it on Friday, on Spread Kindness Friday, you'll get $6 off your subs. Vasasaur. We love Vasasaur. Shout out to Vasasaur, beer created for the fans, by the fans, born and raised, the official beer of Clock Blockers. And then last but not least, one more before this, a great place to sit. You need a good tickets. Dolphins keep winning. Tickets are going to keep going up. So great place to sit.com is the place to get your tickets. You want to know why? Because the price you see is the price you get. So make sure you use the description below, and you'll see the code word DWA. When you call them, you get 5% off on your tickets. But the price you see is the price you get. And you can get an additional 5% off by using the code word DWA. And then last but not least, TailGreeter. We love TailGreeter. Download the app today on your current Apple or Android device today, and make sure you guys go do that. All right. It is Throwback Thursday. Let me bring in my co-host for Throwback Thursday. You guys love him. You guys know him. He throws the best tailgates in town. Y'all know Cameron 954. What's up, baby?
What's going on, Steven? Good morning, Clock Blockers fam.
What's going on, baby? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Running behind this morning.
I see that, man. I've been up since 4:15, in the pool at 5, man. Walked the dog, took her to the dog park, made breakfast for my daughter, took her to school.
You're better than me. I need to get on that Cameron morning plan.
Got my coffee.
What's going on? Where's Tamaris? Tamaris coming on this morning?
Tamaris is heading down from New York City to Miami. She's in the air right now. She will get on the air with us at 11 a.m.
All right, so we're going to do the picks at 11. That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We'll do that. I love it. All right, well, let's get into
before we get into the Dolphins, man. I want to give a huge shout out to the first Marlins pitcher to ever win the Cy Young, Sandy Alcantara.
Sandy, yes. Huge
and
deal.
Unanimously. He had a unanimous first place vote, which was so well deserved. And only the second time in Major League Baseball history has both the American League and National League Cy Young Award winners, Justin Verlander being in the American League, been voted unanimously. Not since 1968, when Bob Gibson for the Cardinals and Denny McClain for the Tigers were voted unanimous Cy Young Award winners. But I mean, it's a huge accomplishment. It's prestigious. It's so well deserved, and it just goes to show there's some really outstanding talent on the Miami Marlins. If they can get some bats around them, man, I think they could surprise some people. But we say that every year. Let's see what happens.
So Sandy, came from the St. Louis Cardinals organization in 2018, and pitched in the Dominican Summer League for the Cardinals, and then pitched in the Arizona Fall League, and kept putting up these numbers. And then he was traded back in late December of 2017. He was traded
For Ozuna.
And you go back and you look at some of those trades. I tell people all the time, when you do a rebuild in Major League Baseball, the people that you end up getting for it are very important, because even if one of them hit, because most times when you clean house, which is what the Marlins did back in 2017, 2018, is you'll get 4 for 1 or 5 for 1 players, right? And, we all saw what Manny Machado got for the Orioles. We all saw what, what's his face got from the Nationals to go to, the San Diego. I say all that because it's very interesting, because Sandy was not the prospect that was really looked at highly. He was one of those mid-level prospects that was kind of thrown into the trade, and he's turned out to be this awesome thing for the Miami Marlins. I mean, that's a talent. I mean, that's ups to the scouting department, right? For making sure he was included in that deal.
No, 100%. I mean, he was the key part of that deal. He was at the time, I believe, the number 1 prospect for the St. Louis Cardinals. He was top 100 Major League Baseball prospect, and he was the centerpiece of that trade, and it's turned out to be such a huge win for the Miami Marlins, because frankly, Ozuna hasn't lived up to the hype, and really none of the players that were traded away, Stanton, Yelich, or Ozuna, have had a long-term success, right? Like Stanton, you could probably argue
has been the most successful of any of those people
the
that
most
were traded.
Consistent, right? Yelich had an MVP type season. The 2 seasons he was with Brewers immediately following that trade, but since then he's been injured, and Ozuna has been injured, in and out of injury, and domestic issues. But Sandy, man, I mean, the stats he was putting up is just amazing.
One of the things that I want to see this year is the Marlins become very aggressive. And one of the people that I really wanted them to go after, and I hope that they were going to make a big splash on, was Anthony Rizzo. And he just re-signed with the New York Yankees a couple days ago, and I was really a little disappointed in that. Are there any other big names that the Marlins can go after this offseason to make a splash and make this team take that next step in the NL East? Because, here's the reality of the situation. 2 out of the last 3 years, the NL East has had World Series, people that have made it to the World Series. The Braves, who won it all 2 years ago, the Phillies, who made it last year, or this past season, who ended up losing to Houston. But, what do the Marlins need to do to get over that hump?
Well, I mean, so to answer your question, I think the free agent class is loaded with the players that at a position of need for the Marlins, and that's shortstop, right? Mm-hmm. They need a bat, an infield bat. They need probably another outfield bat, and that's kind of their big needs going in the offseason. And a closer, I think, is probably third on that list. So you've got Trey Turner, you've got Correa, you've got Xander Bogaerts now available. I know I'm missing a couple, but those are
Correa,
the big names.
I live up here in Baltimore. Correa's been linked. He was linked at the trade deadline this past year to the Orioles, and I think that I honestly think he ends up here in Baltimore personally.
No way. He's going to end up in a big market team. I would think Chicago Cubs are the favorites to sign Correa.
Let's hope I'm right and not you.
Listen, Baltimore's got a good young team, but I don't think they're outspending any of these big market teams. Trey Turner is probably the best player available in terms of stats and what he brings to the team. He fits exactly the stadium profile that the Marlins play in.
I know.
He's a South Florida guy, having played in
But is Trey Turner a big enough name to turn the tide in the NL East?
Big enough name. He's the most productive shortstop in the major leagues.
I mean, I'm asking. Look, Major League Baseball. We talk all the time about the NFL, and we talk about the salary cap, and we talk about bringing free agents in and how to, trade for certain people. Major League Baseball is kind of in the same boat, just to a bigger extreme. If you are a small or a mid-market team, the only way you're contending is if you overpay to get these free agents to come to your city. And don't get it wrong, it's Miami. I understand it, but let's call a spade a spade. The Marlins haven't been, they've won 2 World Series in their 97 and 2007. And I want to know what needs to happen in order for them to take that turn in the NL East, because they're not going out and spending money like the San Diego Padres, and they're never going to, and they're not going to do it like the Dodgers, and they're not going to do it like the Phillies.
I think if you do it smartly, one big ticket free agent, you got to remember last year they spent well in terms of spending money. Now, the 2 players that they spent on didn't turn out to pan out, but they're going to be back in the fold this year, and that's Garcia in right field and Soler in left field, and those guys are stud hitters when they're on. So
when they're on, keyword there.
Absolutely, and you can say that for anybody, but realistically, Steven, I see the Marlins spending on one big ticket free agent.
And you think Trey Turner's that guy?
I don't think Trey Turner's that guy. I just don't think that the Marlins going to go 7 years and $25 million a year for a player. I would think maybe it's Dansby Swanson. Someone just under Trey Turner at the shortstop position, and it could be third base. They could roll the dice with someone like Brandon Drury, who.
Hey, I've said this, that if San Diego were to get it, I was like, man, Manny Machado could be shipped down to Miami. He loves Miami. I pray that happens one day.
So here's the
so I can get a Machado Marlins jersey.
Their shortstop is somebody that is a trade option for the Marlins, and I'll tell you why. You know who I'm talking about, right?
For them,
Fernando Tatis Jr.,
the one who was suspended for the entire year.
Yeah, he's suspended through May of next year as well. But
interesting.
He needs a new change of scenery. He's not well. San Diego won without him. They don't need him on the team.
They didn't win without him. They didn't get all the way there. Imagine if they had Tatis in that lineup.
No. They got to the playoffs, and that's all you can ask for, right? That's my point. And he's kind of burned his bridges in San Diego.
I do know that the GM is not happy and was very upset with that whole situation and how
San Diego needs pitching.
They do. And I guess you could get it first. Again, Tatis is one of those guys that you call up a young franchise. Hey, look, what can you give us? But I don't want them giving up Sandy, to go get.
No, it wouldn't be from our starting rotation. And it could, listen, it could be Pablo. It could be Pablo Lopez. He is somebody that could go in a trade like that. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but he's definitely tradable material. I think Sandy and Jazz are probably the only 2 untouchable players on this team.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, is there anything else you could see the Marlins doing? The news has been popping out. We saw that Brandon Hyde won AL Manager of the Year. it's so interesting because, you know, I look at what the manager situation is down in Miami now with Skip Schumacher, and, you know, does he make that big of a difference? You know, but you look at Brandon Hyde, he had 3 straight losing seasons of 100 games or more in Baltimore, turns the team around this year. They didn't even make the playoffs, and he still gets, you know, AL manager of the year. So what makes a good manager to kind of wrap up the baseball talk here?
Listen, I think more than anything, it's just a different voice, you know, than what for the Marlins. They've been listening to Mattingly and his preaching for the past 7 years. Not that it was bad, but maybe just a invigoration of energy, a different perspective, a younger, voice that maybe is a little bit more relatable. You see it with the Dolphins and how that culture has changed dramatically with McDaniel and somebody who is a little bit more relatable to the players. And I think that's the difference and the positive effect Skip Schumacher has on the Marlins.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's transfer over to some NBA basketball talk. Because you and I can always talk some NBA. Let's talk some Miami Heat. Miami Heat, you know, started out kind of strong in the first few games. We thought they were good, and then all of a sudden they started losing, and they started losing big. But they've kind of turned it around back to 500 for now. They're 7-8, if I'm correct. And, you know, they lost to the Raptors last night, 112-104, but they had won the previous game by 1 point to Phoenix, and they beat Charlotte, and they beat Charlotte, back to back, and they lost by 3 points to the Trailblazers. They lost by 2 points to the Pacers. It seems like all of these games, they're not losing by a lot. They're losing by 3 or 4. You know, that's what one shot, 2 possessions. What's going on with the Heat? Why can't they just get it together? Or is it just, you know, hey, look, it's early in the season. Don't really fret. They're going to be fine.
That last sentence is exactly what I was going to say. Like, it's early in the season. They haven't found their groove yet, and this is too good of a team not to. Come February, they'll be hitting full stride. And listen, last night's game, the Raptors killed them on the boards. You know why? No Bam. You know, Bam wasn't playing due to injury. Huh?
He makes all the difference in the world.
Huge difference. And that was basically, they controlled the boards, especially in the second half. They had a 21-0 run, the Raptors did, in the third quarter that just put this game away. I was watching the game. All during the game, the Heat were, you know, playing good basketball, team basketball, getting, you know, the ball around. Max Strus was the high scorer, and he looked great. He was penetrating, hitting his outside shots. This kid, Jovic, got some run. He had 23 minutes last night because of, you know, Bam's absence, had 13 points. So, listen, I look at this. The Strus had 20, Lowry had 19, Martin had 14, Butler had 13, Jovic 13, Gabe Vincent 16. That tells me they're distributing the ball. They're getting the ball in the right hands. They're scoring the basketball. They just couldn't stop a newbie last night, and they couldn't rebound, and that's what killed them.
Again, I think, you know, the Heat's biggest thing is, the rest of the Eastern Conference got good. I don't think they got good enough personally in order to compete, you know, for the NBA Finals. But I think they're one trade away from being right back where they were last year and right back, you know, at the top. I think they're currently, how they're set up, they're a 5, 6, 7 team. I do. That's how I view them. I don't know if they're a top 4 in the East. I think they're just missing that one piece. I don't know what that piece is, but they're missing one more piece to get them over the hump to be able to compete in a 7-game series against, you know, teams like Milwaukee, Boston. You know, that's what I believe that they're at.
So those 2 teams, it's Milwaukee, Boston, and Miami. Those are your top 3 teams in the East.
Well, not right now. Atlanta's up there with Trae Young. Cleveland.
I'm just saying on paper.
Yeah.
You know,
Milwaukee and it's going to be Milwaukee and Boston so far at the end. And you're right. Miami would probably be that 3rd team, but are they beating? I don't think they're beating Boston in a 7-game series as is right now.
They came with the same team, a Tatum prayer last year from beating Boston.
I think they need one more piece. I don't know what that piece is, but they need one more, and I don't know where you get it from.
They'll probably find a piece, whether it's Westbrook or another interior defender.
LeBron, welcome back to South Beach.
There ain't no way. The only way LeBron
that is my biggest, that is my biggest dream right now is that LeBron goes back to Miami. I would love to see
LeBron comes back to Miami. It's because
Ronnie,
Coach McDaniel's going to have him playing tight end.
Hey, you laugh. I wanted that so bad back in 2007, 2008. I wanted that so bad. I was like, oh my God, could you imagine LeBron playing tight end for the Dolphins? That was like a big deal for like 2 or 3 years. Like it could happen. And Jerry Jones offered him a contract, which is crazy. I think he could have done it. I think he could have played tight end in the NFL. I'm just throwing that out.
He had in high school Ohio State receiving record for.
He was good. He was perfect tight end. Could you imagine LeBron being the best player in the NBA and then come in and catching touchdowns on third down in the NFL? Boy, I would have been like your boy Michael over here in the minors doing his second sport. LeBron out here catching touchdowns on Sunday, cuz let's go. That's how that would have been. You're lucky he decided not to do it. He didn't want to embarrass your boy. That's what it was. He didn't want to make him look too bad. Do you think we'll ever see a two-sport star again in the pros? I wanted Kyler Murray to do it so bad. I don't think we'll ever see it again.
I mean,
the way contracts are.
Hold on a second. I think you will, man.
You think you'll see a player in 2 professional sports again, like, Dion or, I'm trying to remember the last person who did it, and I think it was Dion. I don't remember anybody else post Dion that did 2 sports.
I don't know if Brian Jordan and Dion were at the same time. There is somebody else.
90s.
Oh, what was the quarterback's name for the Dolphins? The one that got just smashed. The left-handed guy.
Pat White. He didn't play at 2 sports at the same time.
Yeah, he did. He was in the minor leagues. And Kyler Murray's
Russell was then too. Russell played a year in the minors, but he was in college. He was in college when he played a year in the minors. Was Pat White in the no? Pat White got out of football the year he played the minors. He was already done. He got that one hit, and he's like, "I'm gonna go play baseball, cuz this ain't working out for me." They had a chalk outline around my man Pat White. It was bad. It was bad. I remember that game. No, I look, I love it. I would love to see it. I think Kyler Murray's the one that is probably the closest to doing it right now, if anybody's going to. But when you make that kind of money in the NFL, I mean, they are probably like discouraging him so many. He says he wants to do it to this day. Like he still gets interviewed about it. He's like, I think I'll try to do it one day. But until he wins, they ain't gonna let him do that. It was easy for Dion to do it because he wasn't the quarterback. So it wasn't all on Dion. Oh, don't.
That's you. That's you when you talk about.
Bro, you're gonna give me facts.
That's you when you talk about LeBron.
Why? What did I do to deserve this? All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. CLOCKBLOCKERS right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Oh man, it is Throwback Thursday. We're sitting here talking all sports. Let's just briefly, touch on hockey, man. Panthers, man, they're turning out some crowds, man. Sellout crowds over in Sunrise, man. The people are turning out for some regular season hockey games early in the season.
Dude, arguably they have the best front line, #1 line in the NHL. Vergehi, Tkachuk, or however you say his name, and Barkov. Those guys are absolutely amazing, elite, athletic, scoring machines. The Panthers' issue is their second and third line don't have the discipline that the first line does. And
they're 9-6 right now, and they're third in the Atlantic Division. They're way behind Boston. Boston's 14-2. That's wild. And then Toronto's 9-5, and then Panthers are 9-6, and the Tampa Bay Lightning are 9-6. But it's early in the season.
Yeah.
That's all I know. And I'd like to think that they're, going to be in it at the. Here's what I think. I said this year, I don't now, just so everybody knows, I don't know as much about hockey as I know about the other sports, but I did say or think that the Panthers weren't going to be as good as they were in the regular season last year. But that's not a big deal because I think that's going to allow them to have, they're going to go into the playoffs, and they're going to be built for 7 games in the playoffs, a little bit better this year.
Listen, they made some trades in the offseason that helped address the issues that they were they got exposed to in the playoffs last year. Plus, their depth in the injuries to their depth hurt them last year. They were balls out, for a lack of a better term, that first half of the season, and just like the Bruins are doing this year, that's what the Panthers did last year, and they were a tired team skating against Tampa Bay, no doubt.
They were. They looked so
Tim
bad.
Tebow. Forgot about Tim Tebow.
Well, Tim Tebow again didn't play 2 sports at the same time. I want to know a quality player in the NFL or Major League Baseball or the NBA or heck, even NHL. Is there anybody that is currently equipped better than Kyler Murray currently to play 2 sports at the same time? And I think Kyler's the one that's the closest.
The Marlins had
Kevin Lee with his $5 donation says first place Stars versus Panthers tonight, Steven. Dude, it's going to be a good game too.
Dude, you see what they did to Carolina? They out-muscled Carolina the other night, and that was impressive. So, that was something that really that's different than what we saw last year from this Panthers team. Listen, it's a long season.
They are built to be a 7-game playoff team. They are not built for the regular season. Last year, they were built to be a powerhouse in the regular season, and I think there's a difference when it comes to hockey with teams in the regular season and teams in the playoffs. This is my personal opinion. And again, I don't know as much hockey as I do the other sports, but I think they're going to be better equipped for 7-game series this year, and I think they're going to make a run at this thing, even if they're 4th or 5th or whatever in the Eastern Conference. Like, I'm not worried about it. You agree?
No, listen, I'm not worried about it either. It's a long season, like I said.
All right. Let's talk some around the league stuff. So this Browns-Bills game is very interesting. We're going to go into some football talk here. So the Browns and the Bills are playing in Buffalo this weekend, and the forecast is expected for 6 feet of snow. Let me say that again. The forecast in Buffalo this weekend for the Browns-Bills game, 6 feet of snow. The last time there was 3+ feet of snow in Buffalo was 2017, and it was the Colts and the Bills, and that was a great game to watch. And guess who was the quarterback that day for the Indianapolis Colts? Jacoby Brissett. Guess who is the starting quarterback this Sunday for the Cleveland Browns? Jacoby Brissett. So right now the NFL is monitoring the situation. They are saying that they are currently looking at contingency plans and that they can make a decision as late as Friday. I know that in the past, I think it was 2014 or 2013, if I'm correct, they moved a game in Buffalo to Detroit to play in Detroit on, I think it was Monday night. So, first of all, what do you think about it? What do you think, the whole situation? I find it hilarious considering that Buffalo earlier in the year was chirping how much of a home field advantage it is and how bad it is, and OSHA needs to get reported for the Dolphins and the Heat. And meanwhile, they're going to be playing in a freaking blizzard and 6 feet of snow, and they want to play there. Like, they want to. So it's so funny. You can't have it both ways.
I really hope the game happens. Like, I hope the NFL doesn't cancel the game. Obviously, they're
I've heard the word cancel. I don't think that they would cancel it. I think they would move it
or postpone it.
How would you? So, are they gonna? I don't think they. How would you postpone it? Are both teams taking their bye?
Move it to Monday.
So if that's the case, I don't see them moving I don't see them. They would postpone it and move it at that point.
That's what I'm saying. Move the game to Monday or move it to a different location further south.
That's what I think ends up happening, by the way. I think 6 feet is just, you got to worry about the fans getting to the stadium, right? Like, and that's
the issue.
You know, it's they would play there, but Mark said Bills had their bye already. Yeah. So Miami Sports Music, it'd be tough to postpone. They play Thanksgiving in Detroit. Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that. Thanksgiving is next week, by the way.
Thursday.
Totally forgot about that. We'll talk about that here in a minute because Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday and it's right around the corner. And I've totally spaced, haven't even really thought about it at all. Look, man, my original guess was they'll move it to Monday and they'll play in Detroit. But now, if they're going to play Thursday in Detroit and it's a Thanksgiving game, there's no way they're moving that Detroit game for Thanksgiving. That's a staple of Thanksgiving. They're not moving a Lions game off of Thursday. They're going to play that game on Thursday. They're going to do everything in their power to play the Lions game on Thursday. So, wow, that changes the dynamics of this game then.
So then maybe they move it to Saturday. Can they do that?
Plausible. But again, they said that they would wait till Thursday night or Friday. They could wait till Friday to make this announcement. Here, let me look at.
Here's what I think happened, Steven, is that the game is played on Sunday, regardless of weather, and it's played in Syracuse.
You think they just move it down the road?
Because Syracuse plays in a dome.
How many people does Syracuse's dome hold?
Who cares? Like, they get the game played. Let me find out real quick.
That's interesting. I never even thought about that. That never even entered my mind that they would just go down to Syracuse and play in the dome at Syracuse.
I mean, it's really close too, right?
I mean, 2 hours maybe, and that's maybe.
I don't think it's even that far, is it? Carrier Dome facilities.
Forgot how far away it is from Orchard Park. By the way, just some teams that are on the road this weekend.
50,000 people, man.
Oh, they could definitely hold it. And if it's good enough for Big East college football or whatever they are now, Syracuse, I have no idea what they are.
49,057 people. They could absolutely put it in the Carrier Dome.
How would
Trucker Sean, who lives up there, said it's 2 hours.
Crystal Lock is right. How would the tickets work for that? Would you get refunded and first come, first serve to buy tickets at that whatever?
Who knows, man? I don't know how all that works out, but that's a viable option, I think.
I was right. Trucker Song said it was 2 hours. I think you
2 hours, yeah.
All right, so some teams that are on the road, NFL stadiums that could potentially hold it, right? Because I don't know. Man, it would be very interesting to know the last time an NFL game was moved due to weather to a non-NFL stadium. I know that the Vikings played for 2 years at the Gopher Stadium, the Minnesota Gopher Stadium, for 2 years while their stadium was being built on their old stadium site. But that wasn't to move that was an agreement that they had with the NFL that allowed them to do that, so on and so forth, right? So, all right, so some teams that are away.
I mean, there's a game in the Meadowlands. I think the Giants are hosting.
They're
hosting Detroit.
Yep.
Pittsburgh is hosting Cincinnati.
Not going to be in Pittsburgh. What about Philly?
I mean, unless they go to Cleveland. I don't know if
Philly's on the road. Philly could host.
What if they move it to Cleveland? Is there the same forecast in Cleveland? I mean,
so there is precedent, I think, for moving it to the other team's facility. I think that's happened once, but I think the argument from teams is it gives them an extra home game, and that's an unfair advantage for them in a playoff race or something like that they got an extra home game. So I don't quite know if it'll be moved to Cleveland. Toronto's another option.
You're going further north, and plus Toronto still has the crazy
but they have the dome too.
Yeah, but they have the crazy COVID laws. Like
oh yeah, they're not going to Canada. Oh,
no.
I didn't think about that. Okay, yep. So Canada's out the window. No, look, Syracuse seems honestly the most likely fit for it.
The only issue with Syracuse is that they're down the road 2 hours. They're going to be, the fans are in the same jeopardy, right, of traveling 2 hours. If the Buffalo fans are privy to tickets to Syracuse, so I
guess the whole goal here is to make sure the fan safety. It's not whether the game would get played. Like they could probably. So here's another thing: could they play the game without fans? Could they just say there's no fans? We're going to play the game. We're just not going to allow fans to come. And by the way, good luck with that in Buffalo.
I mean, if you got to refund all those tickets.
There's insurance on that from the Buffalo Bills and the NFL. I would guarantee you on that. I'm not worried about that. I'm just saying, would the NFL say, okay, look, you guys want to play? You guys want to play in the snow? Let's do it. The Dolphins should offer the Bills their stadium since we are on a bye week. Visitor side, of course.
I mean, it is fall down here. It's 63 degrees or whatever it is right now.
By the way, and again, that's not out of the question. There have been teams, I think San Diego had wildfires 1 year, and they had to move the game to Arizona. It was a Dolphins game, if I'm correct, actually. They got moved to Arizona because of wildfires in San Diego. And so, I mean, there's precedent of them just straight going to another state far away. The Detroit, obviously, them playing in Detroit, but I think Detroit's out the window because of there's no way in the world they're going to play on Monday and then say we're going to postpone the Thanksgiving game.
There's no way.
Not going to happen.
There's no way.
I just don't see a scenario where that happens.
Someone suggested Penn State. They fit 110,000 people. It's a little further south, like it could happen. But my money,
that's
Steven,
interesting.
My money, Steven, is they play in Buffalo.
Okay, so let's talk about playing in 6 feet of snow. So first things first, you're a tailgater. You're a tailgater. We're fans. What does a tailgate look like in 6 feet of snow, cuz?
Bro, you're going to be doing the tail greeter Clock Blockers live podcast from the tailgate in an igloo.
Bro.
We're going to build you an igloo. That's
there, bro.
We're going to build you the tail greeter.
I'm going to be real with y'all. I'm going to be real, okay? If we had a home game that had 6 feet of snow, there would be no podcast that day. I'm just letting y'all know. All my equipment.
No, the show must go on there, big guy.
Not doing it. Not doing it. Not in 6 feet of snow.
You snowflake. What the hell?
Hey, I could be the Dolphins mascot all day. I'm okay with that. I'm just saying that 6 feet of snow, that's gonna be that. I went back and looked at some of that Indianapolis Colts Buffalo's Bills game, and that was, I think, 2 to 3 feet of snow.
Look at the Pittsburgh and so here the Pittsburgh Dolphins game from a few years back where it snowed. Listen, there's not going to be 6 feet of snow inside the stadium on the field.
If it's snowing the way that they're forecasting, it's going to be a lot.
Is it supposed to snow during the game? It's supposed to
snow during the game.
I want to see this so badly.
So that's what Twitter. So that's what cancel culture Daniel's calling for the show, calling the show for snow. That's soft.
Exactly. You are exactly right, Godfather. Snowflake.
What should we call it? What's wild about that is that's what Twitter is aiming for. Twitter's like, no, we want to see this 6 foot of snow game. Like they want it. The fans want it. I truly think there's nothing like, I don't think the players probably might not want it, but you can't argue with weather in football except when it comes to lightning. Like lightning's the only thing and wildfires.
And
Those are
hurricanes.
the only and hurricanes. Okay, 3. Yeah, he said there's only one thing. No, there's 3 things. Hurricanes, wildfires, and lightning are like the 3 big things that move games.
Omar, to answer Omar's question, Tamaris is coming on at 11 a.m.
Yeah, man.
And Alan, I think Alan had a question earlier. The deep end is 129, 130, 131.
No, deep end is just straight 129 first 5 rows.
There you go.
There you go. Deep end is 129 first 5 rows. Canceling the Bills-Browns game for snow is the definition of snowflake.
Absolutely.
Bill,
Get him, Mark.
So overall, do you think now so here's the other terminology that's being used throughout the media. Canceling the game. They wouldn't just straight up cancel the game, right? Because national pundits like Adam Schefter, Jay Glazer, they haven't used the word postpone a lot in their updates about this game. They're saying cancel. I don't think you cancel. Do you remember the last time an NFL game was just straight up canceled in the regular season? I don't remember that. Kevin Lee said, you guys realize the game will be down to run game with all that snow and wind. Buffalo may lose another one. Miami could be 7-3 and everyone else 6-4. From your mouth to God's ears, Kevin.
And listen, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, I said this on Twitter last night, they could get 50 carries. Like they're going to control that ball and run and run and run. The problem is that you saw what Miami did to Cleveland's run defense. Josh Allen and Devin Singletary are going to run it right down Cleveland's throat too. So it goes both ways.
Jose says, but if they play that game in Buffalo and there's snow, I would think it gives Cleveland an advantage with their running backs and helps the Dolphins if the Browns beat the Bills. So I think as Dolphin fans, we're all rooting for the game be played in Buffalo on Sunday, right? Like that's what we want to see. Am I right?
Say that again.
As Dolphin fans, we're rooting for the game to be played in Buffalo on Sunday.
100%.
Okay. As football fans, I think in general, I just would love to see it. But
just as a fan, I want to see it. But as a football fan, a Dolphin fan, we want that game played in Buffalo because it kind of gives Cleveland an opportunity, levels the playing field a little bit more.
And again, I think that the number one thing the NFL is worried about is the fan safety here. I don't think it's the player safety. It's not like it's supposed to be below 0. They played games in snow before. This is nothing new for the NFL. It's just the amount of snow and the time frame that it is, and people getting to the game and away from the game. And I'd be interested to know if the NFL would just say, you know what, we're going to play it, but we're not going to allow fans to come to the game. And I think that would be, I would hate to see fans not be at that game. That would suck.
That's why I said, the carrier don't make sense to me, but you don't want fans traveling. So someone else in the chat brought up a good point. They did it in Detroit, I think, and they offered everyone in Detroit free tickets. So they had local people, filling up. And listen, don't get it wrong. Syracuse is a huge Buffalo Bills town, so it's not like you wouldn't have Buffalo Bills fans there.
It'll be interesting to see what they do. Now, just again, they're saying, this is the other thing that I find interesting. They are saying that that they could make a decision as late as Friday. I don't remember the NFL making a decision so late in the week on a game.
It's not really a lot of
interesting for it. Say what?
I don't think there's a lot of precedent for it.
I think the NFL's in uncharted waters with this. And I think there's 2 things that make it. The amount of snow, right? And the safety of the fans. And what they would probably have done, they can't do because you can't move the game to Monday in Detroit because there's a game on Thursday in Detroit playing the Bills in Detroit.
I agree. Listen, they're going to play that game one way or another, either Saturday or Sunday, and I think it's Sunday.
I don't think there's a way they move it up. I don't see. New York wants to spend $800 million of the taxpayers' money to build a dome. F them. Do you remember when the Chicago Bears had to play in Champaign, Illinois, in a college stadium? By their stadium was being rebuilt. Yeah, yep.
Illinois.
But see, the Minnesota Vikings playing at the Gopher Stadium, the Bears playing in Champaign and the college stadium. Those were why the precedent for that is stadiums being rebuilt, playing in college stadium. I don't know any situation where weather has caused an NFL game to move to a college stadium. I know weather has moved NFL games to different states. There's been, the Dolphins, it happened with the wildfires, I said a little bit ago. The Bills moved to Detroit in the past because of snow. I just think there's a perfect, no pun intended, a perfect storm kind of a brewing here for the NFL and the Buffalo Bills, because you can't move it. You can't move the game to Detroit. The only other logical sense, I think, would be maybe Philadelphia, or you're just going to move it to another part of the country, which we laugh to say, oh, look, the Dolphins are on a bye week, but you don't think that the owner, that is a plausible situation. Could you imagine, Cameron, if the Browns and the Bills came to Miami, would you do a tailgate? Would you throw a tailgate together last second?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hey, so I Googled this, right? And there is some precedent. Tennessee Titans versus the Miami Dolphins, Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Miami Dolphins in 2004. The Titans-Dolphins opening day game scheduled for September 12th was moved to September 11th due to Hurricane Ivan. The Steelers-Dolphins game was also in.
Where was it moved? Was it the day was moved, right?
That's moved up one day, so they moved it from Sunday to Saturday.
Interesting. Okay.
The Steelers-Dolphins game was impacted that year because of Hurricane Gene delaying the game by 7.5 hours. You know what? Hurricane Katrina destroyed the Superdome, remember? And they played in San Antonio, and then they played another game in Tiger Stadium where LSU plays.
Again, weather. Well, okay, there's weather.
This is a weather event.
Yep. But but you can also at the same time saying stadium was being rebuilt, right? It was destroyed.
No, the weather affected the stadium, right? Like
that's true. You're right. But with 6 feet of snow, is there a safety concern aside from traveling from the fans? Like the fans being there. No. Okay. So travel aside, like we get that. But like just being there at the game, there's no roof. So it's not like you have to worry about 6 feet of snow being on a roof in it. We remember what happened to the Minnesota Superdome, and we saw the snow that one year, like just come through the roof. There's nothing that I can think of that would make a safety. I mean, would too much snow in the seats with fans be a safety concern? I feel like in years past, they've actually offered fans to come to the stadium to help them shovel it out. They've offered like, okay, we'll give you $50 credit, or we'll pay you, $15 an hour to come, shovel out the stadium. Buffalo's done that before.
Yeah, but brutally cold or windy doesn't precipitate a change. I think
6 feet of snow does.
Yes, and that's kind of a catastrophic, event, weather event, but not too much unlike a hurricane, because it closes the streets, it closes roads, right? So the closes the highways. Do they play without fans? Maybe.
All right, so we're saying number one thing they probably do is just play through it and just say everybody comes. That's the most likely scenario, right?
I don't think they allow people to come. Now,
you think that's the most likely scenario?
The more I'm thinking about it, I think they play without fans.
Okay. And the second is maybe they go to Syracuse.
I could see that.
And then third is just straight postponing it and moving it to another city.
I think they move it up one day. And I haven't looked at the weather, but I think this game could go off.
Let's look at Buffalo weather this weekend. Buffalo forecast. Friday snow, Saturday snow, Sunday. Oh, Sunday it's not saying snow now. At least up here. It's saying Friday and Saturday snow.
Schefter just tweeted a forecast calling for snow totals of 3 to 6 feet by Sunday in Buffalo, including possible thunder snow, which is a whole different story. That's kind of like a tornado storm that's in the cold with snow. So high winds.
Impacts will be travel will be very difficult, next to impossible. The hazardous conditions will impact the Friday morning and evening commute. The heavy snow could also bring some tree limbs and cause scattered power outages. Experimental content below. Okay, I'm just reading like the straight up forecast for Buffalo area. The heaviest snow is expected late this evening. The heaviest snow is expected late the evening through Friday night, when snowfalls could exceed 3 inches per hour. Winds gusting up. So it sounds like the storm's going to be there Friday and Saturday night, and the storm will be gone by Sunday. But it won't be like straight, like it'll be gone like Saturday night. The storm will be gone, but I don't think it'll give enough time to like clear the streets and, you know, shovel the you would have to have people there at the stadium shoveling as the storm's going on.
Devin Singletary, Naeem Hines, Isaiah McKenzie, Tyler Bass, James Cook, Teron Johnson, Tre'Davious White, Demetric Felton, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Denzel Ward, and a couple more players in the Bills-Browns game are shorter than the expected Sunday snowfall.
That is hilarious. Could you imagine the snow, packed up on the sideline being taller than them? You're not going to see any Buffalo Bills logos anywhere in that stadium. It's going to be, we had a whiteout on Sunday. Buffalo straight up going to have a real whiteout. Like, that's for real.
Oh, man.
Crazy. All right, so I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think they move it up because of the storm. I think that's out the window.
Good point.
Could move it up to another city. Maybe they move it to Saturday night in Detroit. That's a possibility. I could see them doing that.
Or Sunday with no fans in the Carrier Dome. Because the issue here is the fans traveling in roads that are hazardous.
But if they're saying power outages, there's no guarantee that there's power going to be there in Syracuse.
Believe me, the Carrier Dome has generators.
Okay.
The place is a shelter.
Very interesting, man. It just as a football fan, it's just kind of crazy to kind of think about. All right. Enough about all right. So overall, we're just gonna say the game's probably gonna be played on Sunday. You're saying without fans. I'm gonna say the most likely scenario is they move it to another place. I don't think they're gonna play in Buffalo. Like, I think it's more likely they play in Syracuse or move the game up and move to another city. I don't think they play in Buffalo.
I got to take this call. Give me 5 minutes.
All right. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I am your host, Stephen D. Hope you all are enjoying the show this morning. In about 20 minutes, we're going to have Tamaris come on. It's going to be good. It's going to be real good. I do want to remind you guys, we are close to 10,000 subscribers. 10,000 subscribers. Okay. Trey says the NFL has played a game without power and it was in Buffalo. Is this true, Trey? I would like to know. That'd be very interesting. I would like to know more details on that. NorCal says the game's going to be played on Sunday with fans. We'll have to see. I want to remind you, we're close to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I can kind of tell you exactly where we currently are, because this is a big deal. This is a huge deal, actually, where we're at right now with the channel and moving to 10,000 subscribers. And It's a big milestone, and I want people to know that it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Yep, we are. Says 9,877 subscribers. See live count. All right, we're close. We're almost there, guys, ladies, gentlemen. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're less than 125 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers. Come on, y'all. It's a big deal. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. It'll be very interesting. Syracuse, they have to leave today. You ain't traveling nowhere. They will shut down I-90. All right. Yeah, so maybe it's not. So, look, I'll say this. I don't think the game's going to get played in Buffalo. And if it is, I don't think it'll be with fans. If it is played in Buffalo, it will not be with fans. Have a great day, everyone. And we almost there, Steven. But guess what? We not there yet. Since when has almost won us anything? LOL. Pete, love you, Pete. You're a good guy. Look it up. I'll look it up. Chargers, Bills, 08. I'll have to look that up. That's very interesting to kind of look at that. Chargers, Bills, 2008. Buffalo Bills, the quiet game. It was the power was restored during the game. It wasn't for the whole game. I was looking it up as it was. It can't be played in Buffalo. Cleveland hasn't already gotten there, so they won't be able to fly in. It can't be Buffalo. Cleveland hasn't already. That's interesting. Buffalo Bills fans set tables on fire and put each other through tables. They're going to be at that game. It'll be interesting to see what they do with this. I'm like, just as a football fan, I'm curious to kind of see where it goes. It'll be awesome. It will be awesome. I do find it funny, though. Let me just say this: that some of the Buffalo Bills fans, the fan base in general, we're talking about OSHA and how playing in 120 or 130 degree heat on the sidelines is ridiculous. Yet they still want to play in 6 feet of snow. So I said it. I said they're going to come later on in the year. They're going to have some stupid snow game, and it'll work the same way. They open up men's shelters at 33 degrees or 34 degrees. They open up shelters, not just men's shelters. They open up homeless shelters when it's like 33 degrees or below. You don't think they're going to do this? It's like 27, 25 degrees there now. What are they supposed to do then? So I think it's so funny that they're I just think it's funny, man. That's all I know. That's all I know. They're a bunch of hypocrites, if you ask me, all those Buffalo Bills fans. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. All right, when Cameron gets back, I want to talk about power rankings in the NFL. Where are the Miami Dolphins? Where do you currently see the Dolphins? What is your top 10 power rankings in the NFL as we speak? Because I think that, it's very interesting to kind of look at the NFL, go around the league, and I don't remember a time this year, in recent history, especially, where the Dolphins have been, straight up top 10 team in the NFL come week 10, 11, 12, whatever. So I'm interested to know where you guys think the Miami Dolphins are in power rankings. Because it's just kind of interesting to see. I mean, Bally Sports has put out their power rankings. The NFL.com has. Everybody and their brother on social media has put it up there. I'm interested to know where you see the Dolphins currently right now overall in the NFL. And so when Cameron comes back, we're going to talk power rankings in the NFL. So that'll be interesting to kind of see where they're at. And then we might even do power rankings for quarterbacks too, because that'll be interesting. Craig Fontaine says Dolphins 1, Chiefs 2, Vikings 3, Eagles 4, 49ers 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pats 31, Jets 32, Bills not even ranked. Too funny. Number 2 in the AFC, Pete has them at the bottom 4. Behind some teams, but not one. Look, I think there's a lot of good teams in the NFL right now, right? To kind of break down, the NFL and the teams in the power rankings, I don't think anybody's better than Kansas City. I think Kansas City is the best team in the NFL overall. But I'm not scared to play them. I want to face them. I'd love to see him in the AFC Championship game. Let's go. I'm all about it. I'd love to see him in the playoffs, period. I think it'd be a great measuring stick to see where our team is, currently. But I definitely think we have the weapons and the offense to keep up with them. I think it'd be a great game. But I don't think we're better than them at the moment, right? So I'm not ready to put us at 1. It's so funny. You look at the entire NFC, and I don't see anybody in the NFC that scares me at all. Not even the Eagles. I'm not scared of the Eagles. I think they are a week 1 seed. And I said earlier this week, I said it on Tuesday, I'll say it again. Not only do the Eagles not make the Super Bowl, they don't even win their division this year. The Eagles will not win their division, and they will not make the Super Bowl. Now, who wins their division? I don't know. But I don't think it's going to be the Eagles. I think that the Giants and the Cowgirls, the Cowboys, whatever you want to call them, are more set up for success, or would probably be better than that. Now, with that being said, I think that Jalen Hurts is for real. I do believe in Hurts. I think Hurts is for real. But that team, I knew that they were going to lose against Washington. What do you think is going to happen when they play decent teams in the playoffs? It's not going to happen. It's just not. Like, I don't see them winning at all. So, I mean, that's my thought. I don't think that that any NFC team is better than any of the AFC teams. So with that being said, that means Miami's ahead of all the NFC teams. Now, let's go to the rest of the. So who's behind them? Who's behind the Kansas City Chiefs then? And by the way, my top 2 NFC teams, let me just throw it out there, are the Eagles and the Vikings. I think they're very accurate. But again, we had Teddy Bridgewater and almost beat the Vikings. So I don't know what we would do with Tua. I just want to throw that out there. So I'm not scared of any of the NFC teams. Go back to the AFC. Going back to the AFC, I have Kansas City at 1. Then second is, I would think it's probably us. Taking us out of it, you got to go Buffalo with healthy Josh Allen. But even Josh Allen has not looked good the last 3 weeks, and I think it's because of an injury. He's had 10 interceptions over the last 3 weeks. He's not looked good. He's not looked good at all. So, yeah, man, I think that, man, it's so interesting because I'm just trying to think, Baltimore's blown some games this year. No, I don't think that they're up there. I think it's Kansas City 1, Miami 2, and then everybody else is behind us. And I'll even throw out there, I think San Francisco 49ers are better than their record. I think the 49ers will be our biggest opponent for the rest of this year. I said it. I'm ready to say it. The San Francisco 49ers will be our hardest opponent for the rest of this year. I do. I think that they will be. And I think it'll be a multitude of reasons, but I think them going out and getting Christian McCaffrey definitely takes the cake for them. So I'm going to go Kansas City 1, Miami 2. Philly 3, Vikings 4, San Fran 5. No, Buffalo 5, San Fran 6. Baltimore 7, Dallas 8. Jets 9, Washington 10. Oh, no, Giants 10. Giants 10. That's probably it. Steven literally just flip-flopped in his own monologue of a horrible take of power ranking. Just listen to yourself when you talk. No, man, I look, I like 49ers do have a quarterback. They have Jimmy Garoppolo. God love you, Von Joe. I think it's like, as much as I don't like the NFC, I know I just put them 3 out of the top 6 with Philly, Minnesota, and San Fran, but you also can't deny their records either. Do I believe that they're good? No, like if I'm honest with myself, like throwing records out, teams, like I wouldn't say power rankings, I would say scariest teams in the NFL rankings. I would go Miami 1, Kansas City 2, San Fran 3, Buffalo 4, and if I had to pick a 5th, I'd probably go Philly. I don't want to put Philly in there. Minnesota 5. I'd put Minnesota 5. There we go. I don't think anybody should be scared of Philly. Nobody should be scared of Philly. You're back.
I'm back. Sorry, man. Had to take that call.
You're fine. What we're doing power rankings in the NFL. We're doing, where do you see the Dolphins currently? What are your power rankings? What are your top 10 teams currently?
Because this is a funny subject. I don't put a lot of stock in power rankings because week in, week out, everything kind of shifts. But it's interesting to see. I think the Chiefs are clearly the number one. Team. I would have said the Eagles were number 2, but I think Minnesota's number 2. And
I kind of on the same page.
And
I put us over Minnesota personally.
Well, Minnesota just beat Buffalo. You got to put Minnesota number 2. They're 7-1.
Dude, we almost beat them without Tua.
Well, I'm not saying, but we didn't. And you still got to put the Vikings at number 2. I put the Dolphins ahead of the Bills, even though a lot of people aren't, because they are ahead of the Bills right now.
Yeah, they are.
And so the Dolphins are my number 3 team. There's no way I think the Eagles are number 1. I think the Eagles, I think it's.
I think I said it on Tuesday. I just said it a minute ago, and I'll say it to you because it's not you were busy. You weren't listening. You were talking. I get it. Philly not only will not make the Super Bowl, they won't win their division this year.
I disagree with that. I think they win the division. I think that the Giants are a fraud. I think the Cowboys are going to cowboy. I love Washington, but they just don't have the athletes and listen. Taylor Heineke is a great story, and I love him. I've wrote him the past 3 games, and they're clearly a better team with him under center
than Carson Wentz.
But do they beat the Eagles again? It's hard for me to say that. A lot of the Eagles kind of imploded more than Washington beat them. The Washington took it to them with the ground game. I give you that. Excuse me, but they had some turnovers that turned the game over, and they had a couple questionable calls, officiating calls go against them. So I'll put the Eagles at number 4, and then after that, for me, there's a big drop off. I think the 4 teams that I just stated are clearly the A group.
They're the Super Bowl contenders. And by the way, I'm not putting Philly in there personally, so I'm taking Philly out of that group.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Cowboys, Ravens, 49ers, and Giants for me are the next tier. Patriots.
Did you say the Ravens?
I did.
You know, the Ravens are a very interesting team, right? They're like they've won some good games, they've lost some questionable games. But any John Harbaugh team that gets hot at the right time can put it all together. That much I know. So I think they are formidable, and they'd be very interesting to face in the playoffs. I don't even know if I would want to, actually.
They made some additions on the defensive side of the ball, and I think I agree with you, what you just said. I think they're number 5 in my book. I think the 49ers are number 6. The Giants are number 7. I'll put the Bengals at 8 and the Cowboys at 9. And then maybe the Jets or Patriots.
Jets over the Patriots, obviously.
I don't know. The Patriots going to win this weekend because they play each other.
Well, I'm not ready to talk about that yet. We'll wait for Tamaris, and then we'll talk about that.
The Buccaneers, Seahawks. I like the Seahawks, right? I like the Seahawks a lot. I think they're next probably behind the group I just said. And after that, it's all trash. Titans.
Okay, so let's go to Chiefs. They're winning their division, right? Yes. Nobody's beating them in the AFC West. Raiders obviously aren't. Broncos aren't. The only team that would be even close to it would be the Chargers, and I don't see Herbert doing it. So Chiefs win the West. Nope. We're saying that now.
Yep.
AFC North, you got the Ravens and Bengals. I think it's a 2-horse race there. Steelers and Browns are out of it. So what makes the Ravens better or the Bengals better? Like, where do you see that matchup in the AFC South or in the AFC North?
Bengals have a good defense, right? So, and any given day, Burrow and I mean, you saw what Mixon did, 4 touchdowns in a game. So, they
shout out to Shake Money.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles are right there. The Giants are frauds.
I don't believe in the Eagles. I just don't. There's just something about them. I saw how they played against Houston, and I said when they played that way, I was like, they're going to lose to Washington, and they did. And I do not believe in Philly. I don't. I think they're frauds. I think they're the biggest frauds in the NFL.
This weekend's game in the Meadowlands is a trap game, right? Detroit versus the Giants. Can the Giants defense stop that Detroit offense?
I guess we're going to talk a little bit about games before Tamaris gets here.
We got 4 minutes. Let's not.
So go back to the Ravens and Bengals. Like, where do you see that? Where do you see that? Like, I think the Ravens made enough moves at the trade deadline. I think that they're the better equipped team to go further. But that Cincinnati offense, when it's on, bro, it's one of the best.
And Cincinnati's defense is really good.
Yeah.
The Bengals.
So who do you see winning that division?
The Bengals. They're 1 game behind the Ravens, and they play each other again.
They do. I don't know. I want to say the Ravens. I think the Ravens are better than the Bengals, and I think the record reflects that. Obviously, that's just how I look at it.
I love Lamar Jackson. But do I have the confidence in the Ravens defense to stop Cincinnati? Okay. Even with their additions.
That's fair. Let's go to the, so you say Ravens, I say Ravens, you say Bengals.
Yes.
AFC South. No, Titans are winning that, right? Nobody's gonna jump up, and the Colts aren't gonna jump up and make. You think the Colts are gonna surprise some people with Jeff Saturday as head coach?
I think they sniff it. We'll see this weekend when they face the Philadelphia Eagles at home.
You talking about the Colts? Okay. So if they beat Philly, if the Colts beat Philly, will you then believe me about Philly?
No. Because I think it says more about the Colts than it does Philly. Listen, Jonathan Taylor's back. He had 147 yards rushing last week. They're a better team with what's his name under center, the old man, Ryan.
Well, dude, I'm gonna tell you this. Von Joe's getting on me in the chat. That's fine, Von Joe. But when I'm right and Philly's not in the Super Bowl and Philly doesn't win the division, I expect an apology from you, Von Joe. I expect an apology from you up here. That's all I know. That's all I know, Von Joe.
Dude, there'll be some salty Philadelphians if the Eagles don't win that division.
I'm telling you, they're not going to win their division, bro.
Who
it's just
is?
Not going to happen.
Make it make sense to me. Why would you pick the Giants or who else?
Because I think the Eagles, I don't think the Eagles are that good. Like, all right,
who cares if you don't think they're that good, but are the Giants or Cowboys better?
They beat the Lions barely, right? They beat the Viking. They beat the Vikings. There's a quality win, right? They beat the Commanders. They beat the Jaguars. They beat the Cardinals. They beat the Cowboys without Dak Prescott, by the way. They beat the Steelers. They beat the Texans. They didn't look good against the Texans, and they beat the Texans, right? And then in my opinion, their only quality win is the Vikings, and that was week 2. And if I'm correct, that was also a primetime game. And we know how Kirk Cousins is in primetime. So I say again to you, sir, show me where Philadelphia looks like they're going to be awesome, because I don't see it at all.
You know, in sales, we have something, the numbers don't lie, bro.
We have all seen records where we're like, that is not an 8-1. We're like, we know records can lie. Teams are better than their records.
All right, so we're into this hot debate. Let's bring our girl Tamaris up here. Tamaris from F-Boy Island Season 2 on HBO Max. Appreciate you hopping on with us, Tamaris. Just fresh off the flight from New York City, I'm assuming.
How was New York? Cold?
Cold. I'm still trying to adjust to like the Miami weather right now.
I was about to say, like, you're wearing the leather jacket, and I'm like, okay.
Glad you had pants on.
I do have pants on.
That was so good. That was great timing. Just great.
No, I'm in the midst of ripping off all the tiles in the house. So I just hopped on. I just finished doing that for 20 minutes and just got ready here. I was like, what am I going to wear? I look like a crazy person. So I'm like, why not wear what I can?
You literally just went in your closet. What can I wear on the show today? What can I wear on the show today? What happened? Oh, are those bags over your shoes?
Yeah, because there's a lot of dust all around the house, and I don't want to track it onto the rooms that I'm not ripping out the towels from. But yeah.
Tamaris, are you doing your own work in the house?
Okay, so my building in Miami is really they're the worst. You have to go through so much things just to get someone to rip off tiles, all this stuff. So I was like, why not? I'll rip off the towels. I'll sneak someone in on a Sunday to do the whole towels after, but I'm gonna rip them out myself. So that's what I'm doing right now, and it's very therapeutic. I feel like I'm going through this experience of
you feel like Property Brothers right now. That's what you feel like. You feel like HGTV at its finest. Stop lying, Tamaris.
I am proud of you, Tamaris. Just watching you do that on your story. If you're not following Tamaris, her
my handle's right there.
Her handle's right
Tamaris
there.
_SSS.
It's very impressive, and our back room's waiting for the next job. So come on.
Oh, yeah. Tamaris, you're going to be hired to do other rooms.
Listen, I think this motivated me. I just put in I want to get my pilot's license. So I am.
You're just everywhere. You think you're a contractor, a pilot?
Yeah,
100%. You know what? Girl power. Let's go. I love it, Tamaris.
Hey, so listen, I know that Tamaris is on a little bit of a time crunch here. And I want to say, last week we all finished 8-6.
What?
8-6. Wow.
What?
We all finished 8-6. So the game that Tamaris had the opportunity to take a game up on us was Monday Night Football.
Did not.
Steve and I both picked Washington. Maris picked the Eagles. And the other game that she lost that Steve and I both won was Pittsburgh and New Orleans, where Tamaris took New Orleans. Although, stupidly, I took it in Las Vegas, and obviously so did Steven. Tamaris took Indianapolis, and so that was one on her side. What was the other one here? The LA Chargers, which Tamaris took, and Steve and I took San Francisco. There you have it.
Tamaris,
technically you haven't lost either one of us.
Are you still just picking teams based on their looks, on their colors?
No, she's got her own.
No, I have my own little thing going on. I'll tell you about it at the end of the season.
At the end of the season.
When I've lost to you?
Week 11, Tamaris. We've got Tennessee at Green Bay Thursday night. Tonight.
Titans.
Picking Tennessee out of the gate. Steven?
I'm going. Who Tennessee and what?
In Green Bay. In Green Bay.
What's the weather? Do we know the weather?
Man, I don't know what the weather is.
You're asking for too much. Like, pick one.
It's 29 degrees. It's 29. It'll be 29 degrees at game time and snow expected.
I'm going Green Bay. I'm going Green Bay.
Whatever.
Steven's taking Green Bay. I every bone in me wants to take Tennessee, but I'm going to take Green Bay in a close game. So that moves us to Sunday, where we have Chicago traveling down to Atlanta in a dome to face the Falcons.
Falcons.
Ooh, ATL.
Justin Fields. I'm going Chicago.
Yeah, Justin Fields is
hot.
The number one fantasy quarterback in the NFL. That said, their defense can't stop, anything right now. But I'll take Chicago.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'll take Chicago. Atlanta's favored by 3, by the way.
So right now, Tamaris is picked against us in both games.
Awesome. Carolina visiting Baltimore.
Ravens.
Yeah, we're all unanimous on that. Buffalo hosting Cleveland. Tamaris, 6 feet of snow expected.
Bills.
This is very interesting because I don't know where the game's going to be played, when it's going to be played. I believe that if they play in 6 feet of snow, I think Cleveland pulls out the upset. I do. I think I should be able to have a caveat on this that if they play in Cleveland in 6 feet, I'm going to pick Cleveland. But if they play anywhere else, it's going to be Buffalo. That's what I want to say.
Pick one.
That's not fair. I don't know where they're going to play.
We all are picking one, so you got to pick one.
Screw it. I'm going Cleveland. Let's go. Browns with the upset.
Go Cleveland. I'll take Cleveland as well.
Haters. Okay.
Chubb and Hunt with 60 carries. Josh Allen is going to cough up the ball on the goal line.
Yep. Again.
Washington visiting Houston.
This is the battle for the number 1 overall draft pick, right?
No, not even close.
Okay.
Commanders.
And Washington's 500.
I know why. I'm just messing. I knew that.
You said what, Tamaris? Houston Texans or Washington?
Washington.
Okay.
I'm going Washington. I'm going Tyler Heineke.
We're all unanimous. Get on the Heineke train. Indianapolis hosting Philadelphia.
Eagles.
Steven?
You know what? Von Joe's going to make me stick to my guns. I'm going Indianapolis. Let's go, Colts.
I'm going Indianapolis as well.
This
New
week,
England.
we're not on the same.
We are not in sync. We are definitely not in sync.
No.
New England hosting the New York Jets in a game that has huge ramifications for the Dolphins.
Huge. Yeah.
Would you take there, Maris?
Jets.
Ooh.
Man, it's such a big game this weekend. It's one of the games that I'm going to be watching very, very closely. I'm going to go Patriots, man. I think the Patriots are going to pull this out. I do.
I'm taking New England too, and they're favored by 3 at home.
Tamaris, what is up this weekend?
You guys
Here's the messed up part. I'm about to cuss. Tamaris might murder us this weekend.
He will. It's a given. Carolina Panthers visiting New Orleans. Nolans.
Hold on. What? That's wrong.
No.
Carolina? New Orleans? I'm sorry. It's I'm sorry. You're right. I can't read my own writing. I'm sorry. It's the LA Rams visiting New Orleans.
Yeah, LA Rams in New Orleans.
I can't read my own writing.
Am I still right because you say it like that because of the Saints? Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're sticking with the Saints.
Okay.
I don't know what the Rams are this year.
Go with the winning team. It's the Saints. Come on, let's go.
It's so tough because I don't know if Stafford's playing. If Stafford's not playing, it's the Saints. If Stafford plays, it's the Rams. So
he's not playing. He told me. He DM'd me. He said he's not playing.
Okay, well then we're going
That's
Saints.
why she's beating us.
Inside info, bro. Let's go. I love it.
That's how they do it at F Boy Island.
F Girl Island. Hello.
F Girl Island. My bad.
Info, y'all. Let's go.
Who you picking there, big man?
I just said the Saints.
All right.
I'm going with Tamaris. I trust her judgment. She would never lead me astray. She would never say anything that's not real or false. She would never do anything like that.
Never.
I'll pick the Saints as well. And listen, if Stafford's not playing, I think the Rams win.
Really? Oh, that is a hot take. That's interesting.
New York Giants hosting Detroit.
Giants.
I go Giants too.
NYG. I am taking Detroit in the upset special of the week. Interesting to know the Giants are only favored by 3 at home. Las Vegas Raiders going into Denver to play the Broncos.
What did she say?
Broncos.
I want stated for the record, I want nothing to do with this game. I don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. I think it's the worst game of the weekend. I'm pretty sure both quarterbacks are going to be crying after the game, just like Derek Carr was. Oh my God. I'm going to go Broncos, Russell Wilson, but they both suck, both these teams.
I'm taking Denver as well.
Can I shoot for a tie? Can it be a tie?
Minnesota hosting Dallas.
Vikings.
But I'll tell you what, if Dallas wins this game, bro, talk about a team moving up in the power rankings. Like, it'll be huge for Dallas. It'll be a big win for them.
Ain't happening. Did you see Dallas signed an ex-Cleveland wide receiver?
I did.
Callaway.
Yeah. Former Miami Dolphin, too.
Yep. Cincinnati going into Pittsburgh to play the Steelers.
Bengals.
Bengals.
Yep. Bengals are going to make their late season move starting this game. KC playing the Chargers.
Chiefs.
What'd you say?
She said Chiefs.
Great Sunday night game, by the way. I think it'll be a really good game. I pray that the Chiefs lose. I will be rooting actively for them to lose, but I think they're going to beat the Chargers. So I'm going to go Kansas City, but I'm going to be rooting for the Chargers in that game.
Going Kansas City. I'm going Kansas City by 2.5 touchdowns. And I
think they're going to kill them. Okay, that's fair.
Herbert on national TV throws more picks than touchdowns. How's that?
He's not as bad as Kirk Cousins prime time, but I'll give it to you.
Kirk Cousins 7-1. Herbert is shit. Arizona hosting San Francisco on Monday Night Football.
49ers.
49ers.
San Francisco. This is an interesting game, right? No, it's not. I'll take San Francisco. And there you have it. Picks are
Dolphins
in.
are on a bye week.
Why is this such a short
I think there's 6 teams on a bye week this weekend.
Yeah, there's a bunch of bye week teams. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games. Same as last week.
Oh, yeah. So maybe there's only 4 teams
6
on a
games
bye.
on a bye, right?
Okay.
Well, yeah, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So thank you for your picks, Tamaris. What you got going on in life? Anything to shout out? Anything new happening? Any developments in your West Coast career?
I have like an interview for like this. I don't even know if I'm able to say it, but maybe I'm able to say the network, but it's like for ABC.
A pilot?
Monday. I don't really know what it's about, to be honest with you. I got like a little bit of information, but you know how they're very vague? Like they obviously want me, like the producer, the executive producer reached out to me and stuff like that. I just don't know exactly. So I'm super excited.
Just remember us little people when you make it big and you're out, just remember us.
I don't feel that even if I even make it big, like I feel that I'm still like a regular person that's
You're
gonna
still
do.
Tamaris, man.
All I know, Tamaris shouted me out on her Instagram live, so I'm kind of a big
Oh my
deal.
God.
That's all
I
I
had
know.
like 15 people on my live. Okay.
I don't care. It's still so if I have 15 people when I go, I don't even get that. So
Oh, Maris, man, we love you, and we're thankful for your time and sharing it with us here on Clock Blockers in the Morning. Good luck with your.
Hold on, real quick. Let me throw this in, Tamaris. I will say this: you have a lot of connects with people in LA, right? Okay, so look, if the Dolphins go to the Super Bowl,
Okay.
we need you to help me. Forget Cameron. I'm not worried about Cameron. Okay.
The Super Bowl's in Arizona, you clown.
I understand that, but she knows people that are going to go. She's going to know a lot of people that are like, "You going to the Super Bowl?" Look,
she knows me.
Hey, forget you, Cameron. I'm talking to Tamaris. Tamaris, look, here's kind of a thing. If you know people that are like throwing Super Bowl parties and stuff, like, just remember me. Remember this guy right here.
You can't see me.
Don't worry about Cameron. Just
can't see me.
Let me hear you. You're going to remember me, right?
Good.
Just shake your head. Yes, that's all you did. You didn't have to give me a verbal. I'm good. I'm good with it. Thank you.
And what are you doing for that game at Vesa Sewer?
Oh yeah, December 17th or 18th. The Buffalo Bills game in Buffalo. We are throwing a big watch party in Wynwood at Vesa Sewer. Me and Dolph Freaky. So if you guys, and Cameron will be there. Cameron's coming.
The girls will be there.
Batman's coming. Tamaris hopefully comes. I hope you're there the week before Christmas.
It's in Wynwood.
It's in Wynwood.
If I do that thing that I was talking about, I start filming December, January.
Okay, but all right, look, if you're in town,
Okay.
don't let me. I want to see you at Wynwood.
Okay.
Face the sore.
Just nod your head.
Yes.
Yes.
Just say yes.
I'm dead.
Okay.
If I'm in town.
We'll be NSYNC. No pun intended.
Okay.
She's obviously Run DMC. Come on.
Yeah.
All right, get out of here, Tamaris. Have a good day.
Yeah.
See you, honey.
She's awesome. I love Tamaris. Man, what a any of those games real quick kind of stand out for you? Like, besides, we already
good way
went
or
into,
bad
like,
way?
Really?
I'm asking, in a good way or a bad way?
I mean, that Raiders Broncos game is going to be atrocious. That's a train wreck.
So I was thinking about that. There's a lot of good matchups this weekend, and intriguing matchups that have ramifications.
The Patriots are going to be fun to watch.
Fun to watch. Listen, I'm looking forward to tonight's game, because it'll tell me whether Green Bay is for real or not. Just looking at the standings, right? Like, for God's sake, if the Vikings are 8-1, there's no way the Packers are catching the Vikings, right? But they have an opportunity for a wild card.
Why can you real quick? Why are the Packers so bad? Like, what happened this year?
They traded away their best receiver. They got rid of their second best receiver. They got rid of their third best receiver.
And they didn't make any trades really at the trade deadline. They didn't make any trades at the trade deadline. Real talk. So there was a rumor that they were going after Darren Waller. Okay, and Vegas wasn't giving him up, but supposedly they were going after Darren Waller at the trade deadline.
They got so what happened to Tanyan? You know, like he lit the barn on fire last year. He's still there in Green Bay. So the common denominator to me is there's Aaron Rodgers. He just regressed, just like Russell Wilson.
That's what I was getting at. Did he take a step backwards? Like, first
just
of
like
all,
Tom Brady.
So hold on, let's get something straight. I said last year that this was the real Russell Wilson in Seattle. I said, don't be fooled. That's the real Russell Wilson. That isn't. He's playing on a bad team. Russell's not that good right now. Like, he's at the end of his career. I said that last year. Okay. And I'm not so, and it's so funny because we see how good Geno Smith is playing, right? Geno Smith, we talk about Tua playing out of his mind. Do you remember at the beginning of the year I did the top 30 quarterbacks in the NFL? I didn't even have Geno Smith in the top 30. I had no backups in the top 30. I said there's no way. Geno Smith is just there because nobody else wants to go to Seattle and play for Pete Carroll. Man, I was just as wrong with that as I was about Vegas. But nobody expected Geno Smith to have the year that he's having. He is killing it this year.
Agreed.
You know? So, I mean, just to go back to the Rodgers situation real quick. I mean, imagine if Aaron got Matt Collins, right? Matt Collins ended up going to Vegas. Like, they didn't even really make any moves. They could have went after a dozen people.
It doesn't matter like who they drafted Christian Watson, who had a phenomenal game against Dallas. They lost. They traded their number one receiver to the Raiders. They traded Valdez-Scantling to Kansas City, and then Lazard went somewhere else too, right? Or Lazard's still there in Green Bay. So Lazard is technically their number one receiver, and so that's kind of a big fall off, right?
I mean, it's a huge fall off, but I expected Denver not to be good this year, but I had no idea that Green Bay would be.
And they drafted Amari Rodgers, if I'm not mistaken. He just got cut. He's I think he's got 8 fumbles on the year, something stupid like that.
I couldn't believe how bad they are. But what's funny is they've won 13 games the 4 years prior, right? And then they fell. It wasn't even. Let's gradually get bad. It was, we fell off a cliff bad. That's how bad Green Bay is. And so, to talk about the game tonight, do we know, is Tannehill starting tonight?
Yes.
That will be, Shake Money says, now I know the D in Stephen D stands for double standards. Please.
Which is a haiku for flip-flop.
I love flip-flops, and I'll wear them to the day that I die. And I have no problem with the rest of the show being called Flip-Floppers, the number one Miami fan morning show. Okay? Look, I think that tonight's game, if Tennessee wins, we don't want Tennessee to win. That's first thing. We want Green Bay to win. Because the wild card race is going to be an interesting one, right? Because you look at the AFC East, do all 4 teams make it? Is it plausible?
I think they potentially could, right?
Yep, all 4 teams can make it. So just so you know, it's entirely plausible that all 4 teams from the AFC East get in and all 4 teams from the NFC East get in.
I think it's more plausible for the AFC East to get in, just because the Commanders are at 500 and there's 4 other teams that 3 other teams with better records or similar records. Like, I don't know. I
don't know. All right, what other games stand out for you?
So, as a Chicago homer, I'm interested to see if Justin Fields continues his magic.
I think he will, playing in a dome.
Atlanta's a decent defensive team. Does Baltimore, beat the team that they should beat in Carolina? I would hope so.
I mean, that quarterback situation there is crazy because there are reports coming out this today saying that the Panthers want to see Sam Darnold play. They want him to come back and want him to play. That's so that organization is a train wreck.
Train wreck, but that's PJ Walker's team right now in my eyes. I'm really excited to see Philadelphia and how they rebound after their loss against an Indianapolis team with a new coach that's rejuvenated, that has probably the top 3 running back in the NFL back in Jonathan Taylor. There's opportunity right there for Indianapolis to steal that win, that game, which would be interesting to me. You mentioned the Jets in New England.
What do you think about that game? All right, so let's break this down. Number 1, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones. Who's better?
Bill Belichick.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I listen. I really have zero confidence in Zach Wilson being a franchise quarterback.
Me too. I'm with you. Yep.
Incrementally less than I have of Mac Jones being a franchise quarterback. And the only reason I give the nod to Mac Jones is because of Bill Belichick. It's in New England.
I've never agreed with you more. I've never agreed with you more on any subject, anywhere, on anything. I'm telling you right now, I think they're both garbage. And look, we talk about surprises in the NFL this year, right? Like for me, Raiders being bad was a surprise. For me, the Packers being bad was a surprise. The Jets being 6-3, never saw that coming. Didn't see them beating Buffalo the other week. I'm interested. That's going to be a very interesting thing.
They pollywhopped the Packers, right? They beat a crappy Broncos team.
They beat us without Tua.
They stomped all over us. They beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh.
Are they legit?
I'm not going to call them legit. If they go in New England and beat the Patriots, then I'll start worrying about the Jets.
I won't worry about them, but I'll give them more credit. I'll do you one better, Cameron. I think the Jets are a better football team than the Eagles.
You're high. You are high. You're going to tell me that Zach Wilson's better than Jalen Hurts?
No. Jalen Hurts is by far away in a better quarterback.
Stop the conversation right there.
But we're not just talking about quarterback. We're talking about the team.
But I say stop the conversation right there, because Zach Wilson is not a team. Like, he's not going to lead your team to a win against a lot of fucking, excuse my language,
swear jar teams. Hello. Dude, I think if the Jets face the Eagles, which I would love to see, by the way, if the Jets face the Eagles, the Jalen Hurts would be the X factor in that game. And if the Jets found a way to shut down Hurts, the Jets would win that game.
You're high. We need the Patriots to win regardless. So let's look at the Jets' remaining schedule. They host the Bears next Sunday, Thanksgiving weekend. That's going to be an exciting game. Then they go into Minnesota, loss. They go into Buffalo, loss. They hosted the Lions.
You think they're going to lose in Buffalo? You think that's a guaranteed?
I think they lose in Buffalo.
Okay. I'm not. I think Josh Allen is legit hurt right now, by the way.
Who cares? He's got his legs. I mean, Josh Allen alone on his legs can beat a lot of teams, including the Jets. So the Jets are 6-3, right? So Jets are currently 6-3. Let's say they lose against New England, 6-4. Right? They beat the Bears, 7-4. They beat They lose the Vikings 7-5. They lose the Bills 7-6. They beat the Lions at home 8-6. They beat the Jaguars at home 9-6. They lose in Seattle 9-7. They lose at Jets 9-8. They're not making the playoffs.
The Jets are not. You don't think the Jets are making the playoffs?
They're not at 9-8 at the end of the season. They're going to be
at 9-8. No 9-8 team is going to. Here's what I'll say. Okay, if they beat New England this weekend, I'm going to say that they're a lot more legit than people are giving them credit for. Just throwing that out there. And by the way, I think they will go into the 2 seed. With that being said, let's just throw that out there.
Well, the Dolphins
Jets win. Correct. They'll go into the 2 seed. We'll go into the 5. But the following week, I make a statement saying, okay, I think if the Jets and the Eagles played each other, the X factor would be Hurts, right? And if you could contain them. You want to answer that question? The following week, I think we'll get a good estimate on what that would look like, because Justin Fields, very similar quarterback to Jalen Hurts, by the way, and playing out of his mind. If the Jets go out and straight up shut down Justin Fields, the Jets are for real. The Jets are 100% for real. And I will say, I think the Jets have the toughest schedule of anybody in the AFC East remaining. They got to face the Bears, the Vikings, the Bills,
stop,
the Seahawks, and us.
Stop it. The Bears are not a playoff team. The Jaguars are not a playoff team. The Lions are not a playoff team.
They play. All right. They play the Vikings, the Bills, the Seahawks, and the Dolphins. The Jets have the toughest schedule of anyone in the AFC East remaining. Facts. Straight facts.
You were high.
Who else has a more harder schedule than the Jets right now?
After the Texans game, the Dolphins played Green Bay. They play the Chargers.
You just said, we all just sat here and said that Green Bay sucks.
They're better than the Jaguars or Lions and the Bears.
Are the Packers better than the Vikings? No. Are they better than the Seahawks? No. Are they better than us? No.
3 games.
Okay. So are they better than the Bills? No. There's 4.
The Dolphins finished with the Bills, Jets, New England, Green Bay, and have to go out west against San Francisco and the Chargers.
I understand that. My statement is the Jets have the hardest schedule remaining of the AFC.
No, the Dolphins clearly do.
No, they don't. Who has a harder schedule left? Put it in the chat. Jets or Dolphins?
Look at the chat. You're already getting roasted.
That's fine. I'm good with it. I'm just letting you know the Jets have the harder schedule.
Don't make me Google this shit.
Let's go. Remaining strength of schedule. Remaining.
Here it is, right here. Remaining strength of schedule. So it goes Giants, Colts, Bears, Patriots, and the Jets.
Oh, Jets at 10. Dolphins at 15. So you want to argue with me about the Patriots? That's fine. But the Jets have a harder schedule than the Dolphins.
We'll see. The opponent's record currently, the Jets have a 41-35. The Dolphins 32-31. That doesn't even make sense.
The opponent's record.
So let's go. Let's talk about who's got the easiest strength of schedule remaining game. The Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs. Are you kidding me?
Very convenient for them.
Fake news. Seattle.
Dude, I look, all right. So here's a reality of the situation. The AFC East is going to be tough, period. Right? We can all agree with that. They're tough. Like, if you make the playoffs and you're from the AFC East, you legit deserved it. Like, point blank, right? I need you to agree with me.
Yes.
Okay, so with that being said, we then say, okay, what are the X factors in these situations? Well, quarterback is. We all will say this. Quarterback is Tua Josh Allen right now, I'm not saying that Tua is better than Josh Allen overall. I'm just saying right now, currently, as is today, Tua is the best. Josh Allen's not playing that well and has an injury. He's second. And then number 3 would probably be Wack Jones, and number 4 would be what's his face?
There's a big gap between those first two. There's 100%.
100%, right? So we know that the quarterback is going to be a fixture of how good a team does going into the later rounds of the playoffs. So we can agree that I'm going to say the Jets, if the Jets win the next 2, they're legit. If they lose the next 2, they're not making the playoffs at all. I just don't see it happening. And I get that we are sitting here trying to dismiss the Bears, and that's all well and good, but we know goodness well there are not too many teams equipped to be able to, stop Justin Fields.
The problem is the Bears defense doesn't stop anybody either.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I'm just saying, like, we have to look at it from, okay, can the Jets sit there and go toe-to-toe in an offensive matchup with the Bears with Justin Fields? I don't think they can. And I do think the Jets are going to lose this Sunday against the Patriots. I think you and I both said that, right? In our picks.
No, I'm saying there's a big gap between Josh Allen and Tua versus, and then there's the gap between those two quarterbacks and Mac Jones and Zach Wilson. That's what I'm saying. Wack Jones.
So give me, how does the AFC East finish this year? 1 through 4.
AFC East?
Yep.
Man, I'm if the Bills. All right, I'm gonna say it. Dolphins, Bills, Patriots, Jets.
Dolphins, Bills, Patriots, Jets. I would probably agree with you. That's probably how that's going to look. Dolphins, Bills, Patriots, Jets.
If somehow Cleveland beats the Bills this weekend and Patriots beat the Jets, then the road is a little clearer for the.
Who are we rooting for big time this weekend then? Cleveland
and New England.
Interesting.
Hey, brother man, why don't you open up the panel? I got to run.
I'm going to open it up for just a couple people. Get out of here. Final thought, and then promote East 32 and Tail Greeter. I got the link in the description for the Texans game.
Hey, I sent you a text. Can you throw that up real quick? On it's a video, Facebook.
Yeah, go ahead and promote while I try to send it over.
Pete, you're not wrong, bro. This hat is tight. We're not finishing first in the East. And listen, it's debatable. I like the Bills could, it's either the Bills or Dolphins. Do I want the Dolphins to finish first in the East? Is there a pathway for them to do it? Yes, there is. Do I realistically think that it's going to happen? I'm 50-50 on it. And that's the truth there, Pete. Final thought.
What are we about to watch?
Dizzy Bat, bro. Dizzy Bat.
Explain to the people that don't know.
So Dizzy Bat's a game we play here at, and this is from a few years ago, that we play at East 32 Dolphins Tailgate, where we take a wiffle ball bat, we fill it up with mostly beer. This is from a long time ago. And you got to chug it while the crowd around you counts down how many seconds it takes you to chug what's in there. It's literally like 3 beers and maybe a shot of Fireball in there. And then after you display the empty wiffle ball bat, you got to put it on your forehead, bend down, put the other end of the wiffle ball bat on the ground, spin around it for as many seconds as it took you to chug that beer. And then after you finish spinning around for those aforementioned seconds, someone's tossing you a beer can like a softball, and you have to try to hit it.
All right.
And that's Dizzy Bat.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
looks like he's ready to puke. If people want to do this, where could they go to and do it?
East 32 Dolphins Tailgate. And where do you find East 32 Dolphins Tailgate? On row 209, underneath the East 22 orange sign. And how do you join us? By downloading the Tailgreeter app on your wonderful Apple device or Android.
Crapple device.
Or go to the website, tailgreeter.com, and search Dolphins Tailgate. And then East 32 Dolphins Tailgate will be right there before your eyes. Click on the prompts, join us, and come have some fun.
Fonjo says that doesn't sound sanitary, Cameron.
Man, don't start, Fonjo. Because he's doing it the next game. That's a done deal.
Oh, Vonjo, you're in it, cuz.
You're on the clock, Vonjo.
You're on the clock, Vonjo. Let's go. We're never gonna see Vonjo again. Just so you know, you just wrote that on the wall. Oh my God, we're never gonna see Vonjo again.
Vonjo on the street.
Love you, brother. Have fun, man.
Have a great day.
You too.
Fins up. Bye week. Let's go New England.
Let's go.
Can't believe I'm saying that.
I'll stick to eating the wonderful food you make, Vonjo says.
You got it. Yeah, no more food for you until you do Disney.
Hey, what are you making for the Houston game?
So we're smoking turkey breasts. I've got brisket and pulled pork ready to roll.
Jealous. What are you doing for Thanksgiving, man?
Smoking turkey breasts.
Wow.
I bake turkey breast in a salt bake. I'm going over a friend's house and drinking ridiculous amounts of expensive wine and eating.
Hey, you need to. I'm real quick since I have you up here. Can you ask Tamaris if you two can do Wednesday morning instead of Thursday morning
next weekend?
Yes, next week.
Yeah, I'll ask her. She'll be with us on Thanksgiving, so either way,
yeah. I'm not doing a show Thanksgiving, just so y'all know.
Hey, speaking of Sunday the 27th, you got it lined up for someone to come do the
Batman will be at the tailgate for the Houston game.
Right on. Awesome. All right. See y'all.
See ya. All right. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. CLOCKBLOCKERS right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I hope you all enjoyed the show today. It was a lot of fun. Let me turn this off. There we go. Sorry. I was starting to play again. The video. Anyways. 56 likes today. Come on. Keep on liking it. Keep on liking it. I don't think I'm opening up the panel today. I love you guys. My wife comes home today. I got to clean. I got a lot of stuff to do. I think I'm going to end the show early, actually. That might be what I do today. I think I might end the show. If y'all want to stay on, you got to donate to the channel to keep it on today, to open up the panel. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it today. I got stuff to do. Marty Mar says I get the entire week off for I haven't decided how I'm going to do Thanksgiving yet because I was planning on taking off Monday. I might just take off. You guys are going to be mad at me. I'm thinking about taking off the whole week next week. I'm not going to lie. Getting a lot of stuff done. Omar, I can't boo this man, Lewis. Brian said $10 donation. Steven, I came into work now because of you, and now you're leaving. What do you guys want? Thank you for the $10 donation, Brian. I'll stay on an extra 10 minutes for Brian. I'm not bringing on a whole panel. I'll drop the link. I'll bring on one person. Maybe two. Bring up the Wolfpack, Manza Chill says. Donate to the channel. And maybe I'll stay on longer. Maybe. Just maybe. Have the night crew fill in for the morning show. You know what? That's not bad, Adam. I might do that, actually. I need to have a conversation with them. Maybe I can get them individually to host one morning of the show. Might do that, Adam. Adam, you are onto something. You're a smart guy, Adam. All right, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I will have clock blockers fill-ins. Batman, what morning can you do next week? Any morning but Thursday. Can you host a show in the morning, one morning next week? I could probably get Nando to do Tuesday. Get somebody to do Monday. Adam E says every now and again, maybe all of us, Steven. I dropped the link, y'all. I don't see anybody in the back room, by the way. How about come on Friday next week? I'll do Friday. I'll come on for Friday. I don't know. It's the day after Thanksgiving. I like to sleep in. I need y'all to understand Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. I'm a big guy. It is the best holiday. You get to wake up. There's a parade. Love the parade. Yeah, I'm the parade guy. Parade of fireworks, parade all day. Yeah. Lewis, you going to host a show? Lewis might host a show. I might have the Wolfpack host the show. The Wolfpack gets to host one morning. Clock Blockers hosted by the Wolfpack. I might have to do that. That sounds like a good time, actually. You down to host the show next week, Vonjo?
Wait, what? What? Who?
You're part of the Wolfpack, right? You're part of the Wolfpack.
Apparently, I'm the VP.
Okay, so what do you say the Wolfpack host one morning show next week?
I can't say yes or no to that, sir.
Brian with another $10 donation.
But
William Perry
if
says,
you was if it was a week after Thanksgiving, perhaps.
He says, "Oh, so much for the hardest working Miami Dolphins host. This is lame." William, now you know, you better not.
Now Christmas.
They're saying let a casual host the show. Oh.
Now around Christmas time, I'm gonna be off during Christmas, but I'm gonna be in Detroit also. But I'm free.
All right. Well, hey,
I'll co-host with you. I'll co-host a couple shows with you on during Christmas time, around Christmas week. How about that?
I'm down with that.
And geez, man, that first off, I need to get on your takes because I can't.
Go ahead.
I cannot.
I cannot.
You had me losing my mind. The Eagles.
It sounded like you loved my takes today.
Because the Eagles, I don't understand how you say the Eagles are going to lose the division, and you believe in the Giants over the Eagles.
Lewis says he can do Monday morning. Can you do Monday morning, Vonjo?
No, I can't. Next week?
Yeah.
Bro, no, I told you Christmas, I have you. I got you Christmas.
Monday next week.
I could pop in here and there.
The Wolfpack, the entire Wolfpack. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
But listen, you have faith in the Giants over the Eagles.
I do. 100%. I think Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones
is better than Hurts.
No. Hurts is better than Daniel Jones. What?
Okay.
I just think that the Giants have. I don't know. For some reason, in my mind, no. I'll agree. There's no rhyme or reason to it except that
you hate Hurts. You hate Hurts.
No, it's not. I like Hurts.
It's a 2-1 Hurts thing. I get it.
Beat anybody. I don't think
Giants have. They play the same people, Steven. You know that, right?
Have they though? I'm about to go.
You can go look at it. You go ahead, go look at it. I'm pretty sure they play the same people.
Where's it at?
They're in the same division.
There we go. Giants are 7-2.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. So they beat the Titans. They beat the Panthers. They beat the Cowboys. Beat them. They beat the Bears. They beat the Packers. The Giants beat the Ravens. Okay. Ravens are already a better win than any Philadelphia win. Okay.
So hold on. They lost too. So they lost to the Dallas. So they lost to Dallas with Cooper Rush. Got you. All right. Register that.
I just said the Ravens were already a better. I didn't say anything about Dallas.
I know, but Giants lost to Dallas with Cooper Rush.
Okay, fine, whatever. They lost to the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'll personally say this: the one quality I'll put quality wins. 0 for the Eagles, 1 for the Giants. So by sheer process, the Giants already have are better, in my opinion.
Did the Giants play the Eagles?
Do the Giants play the Eagles yet?
Did they play already? Yes.
No, they have not. They played 2 times in the last 6 weeks.
That's horrible. Why would they do that? What's wrong with the NFL?
That's crazy, bro. December 11th, Eagles play at Giants, and then the very last game of the year, the Giants play at the Eagles.
That's trash.
That's crazy.
And that's just gonna be cold games. That's just cold versus cold versus cold. Like you come to my cold stadium. No, you come to my freezing cold stadium. Like that is trash. That's horrible. Poor NFL timing. Whoever made the schedules, trash. But no, and Dallas.
Batman, and Lewis. You guys are gonna Batman and the Wolf Pack with Lewis majority. You're gonna do Monday morning. There we go. So Monday morning's done. Nando will take Tuesday morning. Now I just need somebody to take Wednesday.
And why are you taking off after Thanksgiving?
I'll consider coming back for Friday for Thanksgiving.
Bro, it's Black Friday. Are you going to be out there shopping?
No.
Then just roll out of bed. Just roll out of bed.
All right. I will do.
And come sit in the chair.
I will come sit in the chair on Friday. You will get me for Black Friday.
Jesus. Yeah, you can even have leftover turkey sandwich right there with you while we have a whole conversation.
Cranberry. Oh, don't get me started.
Dude, leftovers are the best. I don't care what anybody says.
The best, bro.
The best part of Thanksgiving is leftovers. I don't know what happens.
I have to see if CB83 can do Wednesday.
I don't know what happens during that fermentation time, the fermenting of sitting in the fridge and and seasoning just really soaking in post cooking. I don't know, but listen, nobody could argue that with me that when it comes to Thanksgiving, leftovers the next day are the best.
They are.
These are facts.
They 100%.
The food tastes better after eating it one time over.
Dude, Thanksgiving leftovers are now. Here's a question: okay. Turkey and ham, or one or the other?
I don't do pork.
Well, you're no good to talk to.
I don't do pork, so you lost me there already.
Well,
turkey all day. Yeah, turkey all day, baby.
By the way, it's both. It's both. You got to have both. You got to have turkey and ham. You got to have turkey.
My mom actually.
I'm not a stuffing guy though. Here's what I need.
You gotta have stuffing, Steven. Like
I don't need that. I need mashed potatoes. I need corn on the cob. Corn, just regular corn. Corn in the can will suffice, but corn on the cob is what I want. And then I gotta have cranberry sauce. Okay, or you know what I'm talking about? The cranberry in the can.
Yeah,
that stuff is delicious. Okay. And then you got to have buttermilk biscuits, cornbread. Okay. Did I say macaroni and cheese? 5 different cheeses, macaroni and cheese. I'm just saying.
So if I ever showed you a spread at my mom's Thanksgiving, she tries to feed a small village, by the way. It's not, so we're Haitian, so it's not a traditional Thanksgiving. So there's turkey, there's ham, there's all the trimmings. But on top of that, there's this huge fish, right? This huge salmon. It's not fillets like this with the head on and everything just laid out. There's goat head soup. What else? There's also fried goat. There's fried pork. There's fried plantains also. Rice and beans. There's like 3 different
really good.
There's like 3 different type of rice. And I'm usually bartending, so it gets pretty lit.
I forgot the other thing. So tomato and cheese. All right. So you got to get big plump tomatoes, juicy tomatoes, and then you got to get the mozzarella cheese, and you got to put basil in it's like a basil dressing.
Or I have an idea. I got an idea. Instead of doing that, you could just eat a pizza.
No, tomato.
that sounds like pizza.
No,
without the dough.
It's delicious. It's
Steven,
absolutely.
that is literally tomato
I don't
sauce that
I
you
don't
just
need the
explained
carbs.
to me with cheese.
Because I care about what I'm putting in my stomach on Thanksgiving. No, sir. No,
Sir,
thank you.
that sound like a
Here's my
deconstructed
Thanksgiving, by the
pizza.
way. So I wake up, you do the parade, right? Parade is a must. I
Okay.
have the kids on the couch, got to do the parade. Then when
Wait,
Santa
you watch the parade on the TV, the Macy's
on
Day
NBC,
parade?
yeah, Macy's Thanksgiving
Okay.
Day parade's a must, bro.
Okay.
A
All right.
must. All right. And
Gotcha.
then after that, what you do is you then when Santa comes, you then are just preparing any last minute things you need for the food, because at noon Detroit comes on. You get the Detroit
Okay.
game at noon. Okay. So then you get to watch the first half of football, because at
When do we play?
Detroit plays Buffalo.
No, when do we play? Because we actually have that's Christmas. We have Christmas. We have Christmas. Sorry.
We're talking about Thanksgiving. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Fast forwarding. Sorry.
So then at 2:00 we eat. All right. So then you get to watch the rest of the game as you eat. And then after that, it's 4:00. And then the 4:00 game comes on. So what you do is you take a nap for the first half of the 4:00 game. Okay. Because you have the itis at that point. All right. And then
we call it urban fatigue.
No, it's the itis. Anyways. Look,
I call it urban fatigue.
You can call it whatever you want. I grew up in the South, and I'm in an interracial marriage, and my wife's from Mississippi. I know what it's called. Okay.
Exactly. We evolved it to urban fatigue.
No, we're not doing this PC crap. It is definitely the itis. Okay. Thank you. Anyways, at that point, after you take a nap,
but calling it the itis is actually being PC, by the way. Just putting it out there.
So then after your nap, you watch the second half of the game, and you have some leftovers. You know, you have seconds. You have seconds off of what you had. And it's probably more like thirds, because you usually get first and seconds during your first time. So then you go for your thirds. And then what you do is that game is over. Now it's like 6, 7 o'clock. Then you got to put up the Christmas tree. Because
that's American things. That's American Thanksgiving. We really don't start eating.
I'm not done yet, sir. At
you guys got a lot
point,
going
while
on.
You're putting up the Christmas tree. You have 3 options. You can either watch the night game, which in recent memory has been at best. So then it goes to, you either put on chipmunk music or you watch It's a Wonderful Life. But no matter what, the very last thing you're going to do at the end of the day is watch It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life is a must on Thanksgiving. Okay?
Is that the one? It's a Wonderful Life.
Those pedals.
Is the Wonderful Life is the one? It's a Wonderful Life. Is that the one with the gun, the red hair? What? Or is that another? No, that's a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas Story. Oh, I'm so disappointed in you, Von Joe. That's called A Christmas Story,
bro. Okay? Again.
Which, by the way, that house is up for sale from that movie. And
really?
Yes, and the sequel to that movie either just came out or is coming out on like Hulu.
It's gonna be horrible. It's gonna be horrible.
But I'm gonna watch it. Now, with that being said, they play that movie 24 hours straight on TNT and TBS during that time of the year anyway. But we start the day with the parade. And by the way, during the parade, you got to have coffee. You might have some breakfast, some hash browns, some eggs, some potatoes.
You actually have breakfast on Thanksgiving?
Yes, of course.
Oh, no, sir, no. The most I have on Thanksgiving in the morning is tea.
Bro. I'm letting you know that is what it looks like. You start with the parade. You end with It's a Wonderful Life.
But sir, how could you have breakfast on Thanksgiving? Like the kitchen is off limits.
It's a very small breakfast. It's just something that, because you don't eat till 2 o'clock.
We don't eat till the goddamn near 5 or 6 o'clock. That's when we start eating.
All the more reason to make sure you have just something small.
No, we literally have to. The guys literally have to steal out of the into the kitchen and like nibble all day.
You do.
Yeah, we have to nibble on little things here and there. You know, oh, do you need me to taste this type of thing? That's what we do. That's how I get by. Oh, you need me to taste that?
The whole day.
So, but ain't nobody eating breakfast. What? No.
Dude, I'm just...
Your entire caloric intake is in that one sitting for the day.
out of all the holidays, Thanksgiving's my favorite because it's football, it's food, it's family, it's Christmas. It's all rolled into one day. And
But hold on. Some people put on that.
I watched Die Hard on Christmas Day, just so.
Yeah, Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
You watch that on Christmas.
But here's the thing. Now we have football on Christmas, Steven.
I know, that's wild, bro. Because I'm a basketball guy.
Exactly. You got football and basketball.
So normally my Christmas Day, you wake up early, kids open presents, you sit on the couch, and then at noon the basketball game starts. And from noon to midnight, you get like it's like 7 basketball games, all back to back. Noon to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10. It's good. You get a game every 2 hours, and it's usually really good matchups. This year, you get 3 football games on Christmas Day, and the Dolphins are the 1 o'clock game.
Exactly, it's conflicting, isn't it?
It's weird because I'm so used to basketball on Christmas Day.
I wonder why the NFL did that. Like, why?
William
next year, do you think we get
challenge?
I
like it. Everybody donate $2 to Thanksgiving spread challenge. I like it. Or no, you double up. So next person does 4. Next person does $4.
Steven, do you say next year we get basketball on Thanksgiving?
I know the NBA's pissed that the NFL did it. And
do you think they're bold enough to do it?
Yeah, they took away from their ratings. Of course they are.
How would you feel about basketball on Thanksgiving, though?
Nobody's going to watch it.
Are you sure? Are you sure, Steven?
The good thing, see, the NBA real talk for years didn't start with me till Christmas Day. Like I would watch maybe the first game of the year on ESPN or TNT because I love TNT. Chuck, shout out to Chuck, Ernie, Kenny, Shaq.
Just terrible, Kenny. Just terrible.
Look here, Kenny. Let me tell you something, Kenny. Kenny, that was just terrible, Kenny. Kenny, I don't understand. Kenny, Shaq Diesel is the worst free throw shooter I've ever seen. He's terrible, Kenny. Just terrible.
I'll tell you right now, Kenny. Chuck could talk all that trash, but he ain't got no rings. Okay.
Look at
he ain't got no rings.
Chuck is there.
He ain't got these rings.
But Chuck don't have no rings.
I hated Shaq when he left goddamn Orlando. That broke my heart.
When he went to the Lakers.
Yeah, that broke my heart because I was a Magic fan. I'm a Magic fan, and he broke my heart.
Well, that's a tough life being a Magic fan. Pablo.
You got Magic fan. I'm a Magic fan. I'm a Dolphin fan. Hey, it's a tough life all around for me.
It's a hard knock life for us. Man, let me look. I don't know, man. I know that Thanksgiving is here. It's my favorite holiday. I love it.
And you committed to Friday. I like it.
I've committed to Friday. And it sounds like we're going to have Batman and the Wolf Pack on Monday. Tuesday is going to be Nando and hopefully Nicky, but Nando.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday, I think I'm going to be able to get CB83. Hopefully I can get CB83 on Wednesday. I don't know that yet. I'm going to figure out somebody for Wednesday morning.
And Thursday,
no show.
We should come on just to show the Thanksgiving spread. Or you could just highlight. Follow me on Twitter. You'll see it.
Yeah, just follow me at Stephen D SKPL on Instagram.
Or on Twitter, the Von Joe.
Manza Chill says favorite Christmas movie, National Look, good talk.
National Lampoon. What?
Christmas Vacation is so top 5 Christmas movies. Die Hard. Christmas Vacation, Home Alone,
yeah.
I consider It's a Wonderful Life a Thanksgiving movie, although it's based at Christmas.
It's a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie. I'll put it into 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then 5th best Christmas movie. I mean, there's so many movies you can put into there. Grinch is great. Home Alone 2 is good.
Wait. Which Grinch?
The one with Jim Carrey.
Okay.
Scrooge would never make my top 5, Kevin Lee. No.
Not even whatchamacallit. Oh, jeez. Which one is the night
Nightmare
before
Before Christmas would never make my top
Yeah.
5. No.
That's a Halloween movie.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
So I don't care what you say. That's a Halloween movie. Any
I don't
other diehards, or you just lumped all of them into one?
Die Hard 1 is a Christmas movie. You can't put the other movies as a Christmas movie.
When you do a marathon, you can.
But Christmas Vacation, I already have that in there. Elf is good, but I put Elf at 5. It's up there.
Eli, go.
That toilet's ginormous.
Oh, which one is a good movie that?
Arnold Schwarzenegger with Sinbad was good. The Last Action Hero or something like that. That was good.
Boy, sit down.
I don't like A Christmas Story because it's shoved down my throat every year.
Hey, Steven, I just picked up the kids, so I got to get rolling.
You're getting out of here?
Yeah.
Hey, ask your kids, what do they like better, Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Therefore, Eli, which one you like better, Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Oh, Christmas.
Christmas?
Yeah.
All right, what about you? Thanksgiving or Christmas?
See, when you're a
Christmas.
kid, all you care about is the presents. When you're an adult, you just want to eat. Okay.
But here's the thing: they travel during Christmas. Also, we go up to Detroit, so they like getting on planes. They know it's about to be. They know they're about to get in the airport. It's about to be a whole thing.
That's true.
Yeah. So for Thanksgiving, they don't go nowhere. They just go over to my mom's house, who's already here.
Oh, we're just doing that again. Another
Yeah.
Sunday.
So
Another Sunday dinner.
yeah. So that's what they see it as. But for Christmas, it's a big deal. They go up to their grandma's house in Detroit. They see all the presents. They fix the trees. They play in snow if it snows. So it's a bigger thing than just Thanksgiving.
All right. Well, do your final thought. Tell the people to donate and hit the like button. And also, we're less than 125 people away from.
Guys, let's support our content providers. Hey, he even showing up the day after Thanksgiving for us. So let's support. Hit the like button. Let's share. Let's really share. Let's go ahead and really go. Hold on. Let's really share and go ahead and not just hit the like button, but share. Send it to friends. If you're walking down the street and you see a person with a dolphin hat on or any dolphin paraphernalia, even a dolphin lanyard, yo, check out the content.
Check out CLOCKBLOCKERS.
Share the link. Exactly. Because that person is probably stuck watching the national media, frustrated that just like you were before, that you cannot get good dolphin content anywhere. So guys, if you see the logo anywhere, share the link. Tell them to look it up. Tell them to tune in. And when they get here, make sure to hit the like button.
Tell them about D.
And even,
Tell
and
them
maybe,
D sent you.
I don't know about that now. That could get a little weird.
D's nuts.
But that could get, like I said, that could get real weird. But most of all, maybe they could be part of the family. You never know.
Family. You gotta say
But Steven,
family.
I ain't got that for you. But Steven, man, love you.
I love you, brother.
Appreciate you. And final talk, you gotta have better takes. Or you know what? You stop drinking and then coming onto the show. I think that's the problem. Stop morning drinking. All right, you gargle with the mouthwash. You don't swallow it, okay? All right, man.
I love you, brother. You're the man.
Take care.
Oh, y'all the best fans in the world. I don't care what anybody says. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Steven, you can't say the full thing unless they repeat what you said in a question. Do you guys know Deez? Deez is awesome, man. Deez is like the coolest person in the world. Deez who? Deez nuts. Sorry. I'm 4. I apologize. I'm immature. Man. Does Batman Returns a Christmas movie? It takes place around Christmas. It's a good one, but it's not even the best Batman movie of all time. How am I going to put it as the best Christmas movie of all time? So that's not going to happen. No, thank you. I don't know what number 5 would be, though. I don't know what number 5 would be. But, all right. Any more donations? Any more donations before we get out of here? Let your content provider know how much you love them by giving him the gift of a donation. For only 99 cents a day, you too can support a content creator. Go ahead right now and donate to Stephen D. SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. Do you love content creators for the Miami Dolphins? Well, then you'll love this. Do we have an exciting opportunity for you? Donate. Donate is the best way for you to support your favorite Miami Dolphins content creator. You too, for 99 cents a day, can support a content creator that is trying to bring you great content. I feel like PBS. Donate. I love you guys. You're all the best. I feel like I should play a song or something to leave. That's what I'll do. I'll do this. I'll play one of my favorite songs. I played it a few weeks ago. I think I'll do it again. Where is it at? I won't do that one to you. I won't do that one on you yet. Where is it at? Where is it at? I gotta do a better job of like going in here with all this stuff. And being like, yeah, this is this, this is that. Yep. That's not it. That's not it at all. I know there's only 76 of y'all watching now, and you're like, what are you doing, Steven? Just end the show. I don't want to just end it. What I want to do is play this song. And I want y'all to donate. I want y'all to be awesome and amazing and love me forever. I can't find it, though. I can't find it. Here, I'll play this one instead. I'll play y'all's favorite song. And I'll get flagged. I don't care. Donate! You need to change up the word. I'll do it all over again.
Aha te aha mukore Ka whakaro no mai ki o ui kore kore ana Ka whakaro ake aha te aha E kore noa e tahi e rereke Kia maki o pai ta whiti Aha ko te kokei He mana nui tō te aki Hei aha te whakaiti Tiro ki tua tuara e Whakaro no ki na wai o roto e Kei wehi te wehe na i tō awa Tiro ki tua
Lord, we come for you here today to say that Aloha. You quarterback. Has been for the last 25 years. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? Go ahead and pass the mic. Play all around right now.
Imohi o e nui no atura Tōku ora nai na te hira ira He ora nā nā kau kei tuara Kei tuara te kokei he mana nui tō te aki hei aha te whakaruti titiro ki tō
I love it. Donate to the channel. You too can help a Tua fan and a Tua grow. Yeah, I feel better now. I feel a lot better. I hope you do too. It was a lot of fun today. A lot of fun. Tomorrow, Spread Kindness Friday. Let me say it again. Spread Kindness Friday. And tonight, tonight, what a show do we have for you tonight? We got Thursday night kickoff with Jason Sarney at 7 p.m. We got Notice Nights at 8 p.m. Make sure you guys tune in for that. And then tomorrow we got Nando Talk, the lunchtime rewind, hosted by Nando Talk at 2 p.m. tomorrow. And then CB83 tomorrow night. I have to get in touch with CB83 too. I love you all. Y'all the best fans in the world. Hope you all enjoyed everything today. I enjoyed you all from the bottom of my heart. Please donate. If y'all don't want to donate on YouTube, you can always donate through Cash App or PayPal. The link I'm going to put in the chat right here. If anybody wants to donate, whoever sends me the highest amount, just send me the highest amount. And we'll get a hug and a smile and a thank you. So please donate. Help us grow. Can't grow without your help. Hey, most importantly, we're 124, 122. What are we right now? We are 122 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers. I'll say it again. We are 122 subscribers away from 10,000. It's legit right now. So donate. Do it all. I love you all. You all the best fans in the world. I will see y'all tomorrow right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Peace.